in. Show me the all damn day. Stay at home all damn day. Bumped in. Show me the all damn day. Bumped in. Show me the all damn day. Stay at home all damn day.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to DPFL Live Event number 3 for Singles Cricket live in Kissimmee, Florida at the Reunion Resort. I'm Sean Green.
I'm Sean Green, play-by-play commentator, joined by my partner in comms this weekend who already has saved me. That's Nick Dichiria. Nick, this guy has a great mustache, mutton chop look to him.
Yes, he does, Sean.
And Jimmy, look at that.
Yeah, let me tell you, my mustache never looked anywhere near that good.
Oh, my gosh.
No.
Just like Outkast would say.
Hey,
that
yeah.
mustache is for real.
All right, guys. Well, we are live. I do want to say thank you for everyone that's been having some patience with us. Obviously, we have been having some internet issues. We've been having some issues on that end. The hotel has been working very hard to try to get set up, and we've been working very hard to try to get set up.
And it should be solved. Everything that we're getting, as long as it stays stable, which was honestly half of the issue earlier, we should be good to go. So hit that like button, hit that share button, let everybody know that we are live here in Florida for the singles cricket. A lot of big names in this, a lot of players who probably consider this event Mickey Mouse starts for cricket. Our overseas players, that's what they will call that type of game. It's a practice game. It's a fun game, right? And since we're in Orlando or near Orlando, it makes sense to call it Mickey Mouse starts.
Yeah, that's fair until Disney copyright strikes us immediately. No, I'm just kidding.
You can't copyright a name of a character.
Sorry, trademark.
Okay, well, we're not. Never mind. Anyway, it's going to be a fantastic night here at DPFL Live Event number 3 in Kissimmee, Florida. We have the major event of the entire tournament happening tonight, and that is the DPFL Championship. Single elimination, seeded by DPFL Order of Merit. It's 501, single in, double out, best of 7. Until we get to the semis, it's best of 9, and the finals is best of 11. Qualification was required for this. 4 players qualified yesterday in the qualifier, and $6,000 goes to first place.
Whew, a lot of money.
There's a lot of money on the line, guys. So that starts at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you definitely want to tune in for that one, because it's going to be a blast. And here we are, singles cricket. Let me ask you, Nick, make me a prediction. I know that this is really unfair because there's only so many Europeans versus the Americans, but give me a prediction. Is a European able to win this cricket event?
I would like to see that, if I'm being entirely honest. obviously cricket has a little bit of a stigmata of the sense that people will be harsh on it overseas sometimes. It's a little bit different. Like
Literally called Mickey Mouse darts.
It's literally called Mickey Mouse darts. But anything's entirely possible. At the end of the day, I do believe it's more of the comfortability of your form itself. And then, of course, a good stratagem helps. In fact, is key at times. But you can't see these guys go on the run. And even if they don't actively play it, some of them actively have watched it. And, for instance, for our North American side, some of them are self-proclaimed experts in the game.
Yep. You have Danny Baggish.
Self-proclaimed.
Well, but in the first leg he just played in this last 64, he just averaged a 5.14.
Mm-hmm.
So it's self-proclaimed, but it's also backed up.
No, I couldn't agree more.
So this is where I'm getting at, right? Say you get a Danny Baggish versus a Keegan Brown in the final. And Danny will be the first to tell you that Keegan Brown is fantastic at cricket too. At that point, because they're both kind of equal in that regard, strategy might make a difference. And who has the best strategy? It's going to be Danny.
Mm-hmm.
So if it goes that way, I could see that being a outliner. It is only a race of 2, which is also an opportunity for players to be upset.
And that's where the obviously every dart matters. That strategy will matter, and I'm not going to argue otherwise. But because of the format being blink and you miss it style, you can see some upsets. And at the end of the day, if one of the European players comes out hot and you're hitting, it doesn't matter what your strategy is when you're hitting everything at the end of the day. We've seen that with Stowe Bunce last year against Jim Wood. We'll see it time and time again. When it comes to the game of cricket, it's about just having control, and control can easily just come from pure ability on the board, as Jeff Smith gets a leg number 1 here.
Yeah, great checkout from Jeff Smith. The consummate pro from Canada, the silencer, taking on Jimmy Jones, Irish player.
And of course, it goes without saying, Jeff Smith is really just some royalty in North American darts at this point. I mean, just the stuff that he has done, the stuff that he's accomplished.
He has an Irish thing on his flag. It's the Paddies. It's the location where he is.
So, what
also,
Jeff Smith
also red hair and those mutton chops. Listen, it was possible. I make up stuff, guys. Give me a break. I know Jimmy. What am I talking about? From Fayetteville, North Carolina. What are we talking about? I've seen his logo is a very, very popular logo that's on Facebook. I'm just not used to seeing him in the Ford General hat. Hilarious.
Jimmy here should look at the 20s. He does go ahead and move up on the last start. You can see the way those 2 darts were hanging overhead of the bed there on the 19s. And on top of that, he already had a good position where he can go ahead and take the jump, take the move up.
Ed Chambers in there. Rumor has it Scott is still laying on the floor on the stage. If you guys have not seen this yet, you guys need to check out either Will Stewart's page or USA Darts page for the clip of the 180 and floor from Scott Hanish.
And floor is important there in that statement for sure. You can see Jeff trying to just actively defend the 20s there. He did switch to the 19s on the last start. I actually don't really love the switch. I mean, he has the 17s in the back pocket, right? But at the end of the day, Jimmy should close the 20s here every single time and can reassert the point lead here, make Jeff have to work a little bit harder. But not if it goes into the 3 there, so not as much of a punishment as it could have been. Jeff Smith going to try to get a number open for himself.
Smith going to go to his 18s. If you know who Jeff Smith is, you know the 18s there, his bread and butter. And why he switched to the close there, Nick, give us some insight.
Well, I mean, he has the higher number now, so he controls the 18s. He also has the 17s in his back pocket as well. So, yes, you're down in points, but you have invisible marks, right? You have the numbers closed. You have the advantage of making the other person have to work harder on the corner pockets now.
Scott Hanish in there, about to hop on the mic for a play-by-play of the Kankle twist. It's amazing. Jeff kind of blocked there. Going to look down maybe?
Yeah, he has the 17s. You might as well utilize them if you already have that extra number. That's one of the biggest benefits, especially in steel tip cricket, is the fact that if you have blocked, you're going to get blocked sometimes. It's more likely in this version of the game than any other. So take advantage of your extra numbers.
I hate that last start from Jimmy. I want him to close the 18s there if he's on the first 2 at it. It wastes the first 2 darts, especially because it's Jeff Smith's number, right?
Yes.
Look at that. Make him pay right away. And he's staying there for all of them.
Yeah, why not?
Boom goes the dynamite. Jeff Smith makes them pay with a maximum amount of round of 9 on the 18s. And I love when players prove my point right away.
Yeah, well, I mean, and again, you're talking about wasted marks. Where's your single the most valuable? If you're not confident in hitting the triple, or even if you are, where is my miss the best in the use case right there? And 2 single 18s did nothing for Jimmy there. Did everything for Jeff.
Yeah, the only thing that I would say is why he probably made that decision is because the 17s were also opened by Jeff Smith. But if you know Jeff Smith at all, you automatically understand how important it is to take out the 18s. And now, often running Jeff Smith, it's pretty much all she wrote now.
Yeah, this one's about said and done here for Jeff Smith 2-0, and it was just really, I mean, Jimmy right now 3.9 in this leg, 3.4 in the match right now. I mean, hanging in there with a pretty solid performance, but it was just you let Jeff Smith get control, he's going to take advantage of it.
And Jeff Smith does take it out with a double on dart 3. Jimmy Jones is now awaiting either the championship if he's in it, or he's waiting for the blind draw tonight at 9:30.
Well, there's still more darts to come. We got plenty of action.
And we're going to bring you plenty of action, guys.
Coming your way.
We have a lot of makeup work to do.
So much makeup work.
This is now only the 4th match I've commentated on all weekend long so far, so I need it. Let's just keep going.
Yeah,
Tim, if you're listening in, send us the next one right now.
Yeah.
Let's go. As you can look around the room and the venue, and my goodness, the players that are here, that continue to be here, off and running, it's insane.
Let's go ahead and look at one of the players up close here, and take a look at our talk that we had with Joey Lana earlier in the Dart Hall, and have a little chat with him. What do you say?
Sounds good.
Here with Joey Lana at the DPFL Live Event in Kissimmee, Florida. How does it feel to be down here once again, Joey?
It's awesome. I love coming down here. It's a vacation. I also get a tournament out of it, stay an extra day, do some parks. I like being down here for a week, so it's nice.
Yeah, it's a good vacation spot. I mean, a couple golf courses if you fancy that, but even better, some great darts, some great competitors here this weekend too.
Oh yeah, you got some PDC players here. You got people that aren't PDC players, but they come overseas. It's good competition here.
Yeah, definitely. You got some incredible Dutch players here, including one of your new teammates, Jan van Veen. Good to see him in person, I'm sure.
Yeah, I played him in the development tour a year ago around now, and yeah, he wasn't nice to me. He beat me pretty nice on the board, but good guy. I like seeing him.
Well, let's talk about darts here recently. You've been, of course, doing the CDC tour and just kind of the circuit in general. Where do you think your game's at right now?
It's like a roller coaster, up and down, but I feel like I'm on the upswing right now. Having some really good games, having some bad games, but overall, I feel like I'm up there playing with the best.
You're only, 22 years old, if I'm not mistaken?
22.
A long way to blossom in this game. Where do you think your game can go?
I think it go to the top. I feel like I have a nice natural throw, and just got to keep working at it. And a few years from now, I think I could be the best in the room.
Well, we've already seen the success in the Continental Cup side of things, the CDC level tournaments. I mean, you're right there with some of the best in the country.
Oh, yeah. I mean, playing all these guys, I've beaten them all at least once, so it's nice to see, come onto the board again and play them, and I know I could beat them. So.
Well, moving forward to this Red Dragon sponsorship, newly formed sponsorship here, how does that feel to have a company like Red Dragon just bring you on and with all the big boys and girls they have?
It's awesome. They sponsor so many great players. They have world champions on the roster. And this is a big company. They do so much for darts, and being able to be part of that is awesome.
Well, I know down the road you probably work with Lee, maybe on a barrel or so. You excited for that process?
I'm excited for everything that they give me. The sky's the limit with them. They're awesome. So I'm excited for everything in the future.
Well, they've been definitely attacking this North American market. You've seen some of the soft tip professionals they've been bringing on, as well as Jules, you, Adam Savada. Just a good team behind you there.
Yeah, some good players, some CDC winners, some PDC players. It's nice to be in a company with them, and I'm looking to be there in a few years.
Definitely so. Well, Joey, thanks for taking a moment with us here at the DPFL Live Event. Good luck this weekend, and congrats on the sponsorship once again.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Welcome back, everyone, to the DPFL Live Event number 3 for Singles Cricket Live in Kissimmee, Florida at the Reunion Resort. I'm Sean Green, play-by-play commentator, joined by Nick Dichiria. Nick, we got a good one between Texas's Danny Young taking on, well, the Netherlands, the Dutch player, the Cobra, former world champion, Jelle Klaassen.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I'm curious to see if the Cobra can snake another one in on a good win on the dartboard here, or Danny Young showing us what he's got on our stage today. Should be pretty interesting to see, and I'm excited. I haven't actually seen Danny Young throw too much myself. I'm curious to see because I've heard great things about him.
Yeah, one of those up-and-coming players that got a CDC Tour card this year, and big things were expected out of him. So far, not quite lived up to the hype in that regard on CDC Tour. But the talent is very much there, and you're going to see that hands down. Averaging a 4.4 in his 2 matches that he's played so far, and you compare that to Jelle Klaassen, the former world champion, at 3.62 is the average coming into this.
Well, so far, so
advantage Danny.
Yeah, I was going to say, especially after that beginning onslaught, and it's continuing from the young buck.
Boom,
getting it in there.
Dynamite, Danny Young, with a round of 9 and a white horse version of that bad boy.
Yeah, he is currently off to the races here and wasting no time. And that's the problem, right? I mean, we talk about like this being a first to 2 legs. If someone catches a back-to-back heater to open up a leg, you're in trouble pretty quick if you're not answering. Like right now, if I'm Klaassen, I'm thinking, okay, you know what? This one that is not going my way, it's time to take it in leg 2.
Definitely not going. Danny Young's averaging a 5.8.
I can't even count to 5.8. I'm going to be honest.
You can see Jelle actually was at the line ready to throw. It took Danny an extra half second on the chalking there. So that leg number 1 goes to Danny Young, and that actually went up his average. 5 point. That's not right. No, it was
5.8.
5.8 in leg number 1 from Danny Young.
Yeah, well said, Sean.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I forgot that Nick likes to ruin our lives when it comes to making sure that we have great coverage. All right.
Yeah,
Jelle
you know
Klaassen
me.
stepping up. Look at him not pointing. Takes all 3, does the bare minimum of that round. And this is where advantage Americans in the fact of cricket strategy. You got to point there. Danny would have pointed there.
You can see right now just establishing that playground there, getting a number opened up, and finding 5 in there. Solid response, but right now control back to Klaassen.
Great first dart from Jelle. Klaassen switches to the 18s on dart 3. So Danny behind the point is going to shoot at those 18s. Cannot tell if that's a treble or single. I think single.
I think he got 6 in, actually.
I think that you're right.
Yeah, I usually am.
No.
Klaassen really wants to get a shot at these 18s here, but you can see he had to move around his dart. He's going to stay. Yeah, you have to stay. If the way it went in, you kind of felt like that last one was guaranteed.
Well, especially the way that he blocked himself after dart 1 and still found it by moving over to the left side of the Yaki. Danny right back into the treble 18s. Knows he needed a 9 there to get back control. Advantage Klaassen.
Yeah, and right now Danny just needs to keep cool in this given situation because of how he played in that first leg. It's easy to have that adrenaline dump after that leg's over. If he keeps calm and collected, he is still absolutely in this leg, but right now Klaassen's doing a good job of maintaining control.
You know, we realize, folks, that the players are talking themselves. We'd ask Scott Hanish to do it, but he'd probably just fall. Well, I'm Sean Green by myself for the entire rest of the weekend because I just fired Nick, and I don't even have the authority to do that.
It's been a good run as Danny there does find a 7 on the 16s. And it's hard, though, because he didn't close the 17 successfully, right? So he's in a scenario now where Klaassen has 2 numbers, and so you can get the shot to 20, but you still have the insurance on the 17s.
All right, here's the opportunity. Closes the 17s. Closes the 20s.
Oh, what a beautiful darts there.
Huge darts from Danny Young. And he takes back control. as we head to the 15s and 16s, where you and I know this is where the leg is won and lost most of the time when both players are as talented as these two. Look at Danny Young starting at 4.7 in leg number 2.
And just showing absolute resilience, knowing that he's going against an opponent that at any point can play like the best in the room, because he is one of the best in the room. And Danny's just kind of throwing the book at Clausen and saying, if you give me an opportunity, you call it, I hit it.
Yeah, he's not giving Clausen any breathing space whatsoever. Like, he's playing right now in a way where he could win this thing if he gets past Clausen. Still work left to do.
Yeah, still work left to do in this leg. That was a great response from Clausen, finding 7.
Needed him.
Forcing Danny here to have to try to find a little bit of success on these 16s.
Doesn't get the treble, so he has to stay. Only 3 of them. Advantage back to Clausen.
Yeah,
He'll send us to a last leg decider, potentially.
Yeah, 16s need to go here. Oh, but it's going to take all 3.
He almost threw a Maloney double. Did you see that? Someone's been watching
that
the
a Maloney
CSC Challenger
double?
Series.
Still game shot available for the young buck here. It's still available.
Wow.
Oh, not quite.
Is that outside?
Yeah, it looks like it's outside there. But it's a great pressure shot.
Clausen going right at the bulls. That's a great marker for the double. 1 dart in hand. That's in.
Just
Checks it,
confirming.
yep.
He has very long points on his darts, so it's kind of hard to see from back there, I would imagine.
And he pins it. See, if you just would have thrown that 3rd dart on Mackley, he would have never have to guess. But leg number 2 goes to Yellow Clausen, and we're going to last leg decider.
Yeah, big moments here. And Danny played great in that leg. He should not be kicking himself at all there. And the only thing he should be thinking is, okay, start off like how I did in leg number 1.
Question for you.
Answer for you.
And I'm asking this because I don't really like this. I don't like not diddling for starting the last leg decider when it's only a race to 2.
Oh, wholeheartedly agree. If you win the opening diddle, that means you're starting 2 out of 3 games potentially.
Boom goes the dynamite. Yellow Clausen, a round of 9 to start off on the 19s. Back to you, Nick.
Yeah, no, I think that you're giving away too much advantage at the opening diddle at that point, because, again, you're starting 2 out of 3 legs potentially.
I almost actually like diddling before the start of every leg.
In
a race to 2 format.
I personally have never been a fan of that, but it is pretty commonplace.
Yeah.
And I think I would still prefer it over this given setup, just saying there. Not to discredit the organizers or anything like that, of course, but just personal preference.
Stephen Park said, surprised to see Johnny K there. Honestly, the talent that's in this room is second to none over here right now for a event in the U.S. and having PDC pros come on over and all that. This is one of the few.
17s where Danny had his struggles in the previous leg does not seem to be the same. I wouldn't mind if he takes a look. He does!
And he pins it. Big dart from Danny Young.
I think he didn't like how those flights were crossed on those first 2 darts, and that's the exact moment where you're tying it, putting a big pressure shot now on Clausen. That's a massive shot from the young buck.
And you have the same dart nickname as him. Isn't that crazy?
That's
Yours is spelled differently.
I was going to say, that's also my commentator's nickname. I don't think that is I've never gotten that name as a player. This guy is earning it as a player.
Commentator, rapper, based on the spelling that we give you.
Opportunity handed back over there. 3 mark follows 3 mark.
Oh, that's a tough dart because it's blocked completely for Clausen. His darts pitch very, very much.
And he also, he has those elongated points as well. It leaves you more room for your dart to follow in to the bed, but also can visually be a big blocker as well. What are your opinions on long pointed darts?
So the way I actually hold my darts, I don't like a super long point. I do love the science behind having longer points and the fact you can fit more darts in a smaller segment. So the science pans out. I just couldn't grip a dart like that if I tried. You can see he puts his finger on top of the dart to push it down, and he also kind of shoves the dart through anyway. It's a very unique throw that he has.
Danny here has a unique opportunity to make sure this leg is closed up in his favor.
Sometimes you knock it out of the park. All right, I'm going to give you credit for that one.
I deserve a little bit more than the credit I've been given, and I appreciate it.
I don't like this new version of Nick that stands up for himself. It's kind of annoying.
Well, right now Clausen's like, man, this Danny Young's kind of annoying. All right, now
Yeah.
I lost my mojo.
No,
there
100%.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. Danny Young, 15s. And that's a tough first start because now you got to really think through. And, yeah, you got to go back to points.
Yeah, and here's the thing. If he hit a trip on the second dart on the 17s there, he's probably going to take another look, but he needed to get the insurance policy. And Clausen now knows that this has to be a moment he needs to capitalize here. There's only so many times you can hand this opportunity back and forth.
He's blocked and then blocked more, so that's why you're seeing him go off screen here. And gets himself only 3. That's actually really impressive how close that got to the treble. You guys can't tell on viewing, but that was about as blocked as anything could be. Danny does find that first dart. There's the close.
He's like,
thank
finally,
God.
he kind of throws one up there. And then back to the 17s. 38-point difference is all that separates these players, but it might be enough. Clausen's going to do anything he can fighting on these bulls.
Yeah,
he's
that's
hitting
a
them
lot.
very well as well.
Well, they all are. Honestly, the PDC tour card holders that we've seen come over here, or former PDC tour card holders come over here, they hammered this bullseye. It's honestly impressive.
Doing a little DJ dart flip in there. Does go back down on that last dart.
Yellow can steal this right here.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is the exact moment. This is your last moment, potentially.
Double. We'll give a look at the treble 15, or treble 17. Gets the double. Treble 17 for the match. Oh, just below. Danny Young, opportunities like this are not going to exist very often. Reprieve. You got to hammer the points no matter what. Just don't move. He said stop to himself. A good 6. He listened.
Apparently it worked. But again, right now Clausen's in striking distance, and no one's feeling comfortable at this point. They're both feeling like they're on the attack. They're trying to defend their tournament run.
Yeah, the math doesn't math out, but 5 bowls definitely maths. 125 points added to his total.
And like I said, I mean, Clausen's just hitting that bowl particularly well. Danny is now just forced to stay down until there's an opportunity where Clausen misses. You might not ever get that opportunity from this point on. He is locked in at the moment.
Cheyenne Richards, yes, this is Danny Young from Texas.
Oh, big
5.
Big find there. Much needed last start.
Throwing phenomenal right now are both players. This last league decider, 4 point above, 4.1 plays 4.1. And Clausen, I don't think he's missed a bowl yet that he shot at, except for right there.
Wow, that was crazy. Oh, my goodness.
That's why they call it a commentator's curse.
That exactly feels like that. And that should pretty much wrap it here, potentially. I mean, Danny just needs to hit a big find here.
Yeah,
gets the point lead back.
Lot. Yeah, you got to stay.
He's just not getting that first start to go in the treble his way, and that is a very unfortunately timed miss on the last start here. This is the best opportunity Clausen's seen for the potential match winner.
Yeah,
and he's going to get 2 darts for it. One more single. Gets it done.
A finish from Yellow Clausen, and Danny's going to kick himself. He gave that one away. He knows it. And
I mean, look at the body
that being
language.
said, Yellow Clausen, all of those bowls made absolutely all the difference in that match. It was impressive how often he was actually just hammering, not even the bowl, the double.
Yeah, and that's what it comes down to. Again, it came down to the fact that the finish line wasn't crossed yet, and Danny didn't do much wrong other than just let Clausen get a couple opportunities at the bulls there, and 1 or 2 missed first starts at the trip can make all the difference in the long run there, and Danny should not be too mad at himself. That was an impressive performance from the kid.
Absolutely. It's honestly impressive how quickly things can turn around, right? Because he went from a favorite of mine, Danny Young, a leg and a half ago, to now he's probably one of my least favorites to win this tournament.
Well, yeah, I guess that is how that would work. Well, I got good news for you, Sean.
Give me those good news.
We got more great matches coming our way here at DPFL Live Event 3 here in Kissimmee, Florida, and I'm looking forward to calling each and every one with my good buddy Sean Green and, of course, my good buddy Will Stewart.
Easy there on the good buddy putt.
All right, my moderate buddy Sean Green and my good friend Will Stewart.
Guys, we will be right back with more action right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Anywhere.
Welcome back, everyone. Here we go with another great matchup. Aaron Zimmerman taking on Joey Lenaub, an individual we just talked to in one of our interviews, a newly signed Red Dragon player. Looking forward to our matchup here. William Stuart, Nick Dichiria alongside of me as Sean takes a quick minute to grab a nice bottle of water.
Yeah, the nicest bottle of water even. As we're excited. This should be a good one. Of course, you just mentioned Joey. Aaron there, he is a local Florida player from, I believe, the Jacksonville area. And one of those guys I've actually got to see at a couple of events in the last 12 months or so. And he's always one of those guys, he's like, I know I can play with the best. I don't always play the best. And whenever I win, it feels like it's house money. Yeah. And that's a good mentality to have.
Yeah, it definitely is. It definitely is. And this is, I believe, our... Can't talk too quick. I believe this is a round of 32, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I believe that is correct there. I want to go ahead and confirm that. Yeah, this is the top 32.
And we haven't mentioned either. I mean, if you're following along on Dart Connect, you will see that the matches right now, there's ladies and men in here. This is an open bracket cricket event.
Which I love to see. I personally think that there's no gender bias in this sport, and to have all the people, doesn't matter who you are, playing in the open together, it's phenomenal to see. And it leads to some very interesting opportunities here for some upsets, some big runs. And looking at this, I mean, we're seeing some early exits from big players, and we're seeing some surprise wins across the bracket.
We're also seeing some dirty matchups in the early stages. I mean, Danny Baggish, Jan Van Veen just played each other. I wish we would have got that matchup of the stream, but it happened at the same time as our previous matchup, which was a doozy.
Yeah, I believe Danny won that 2-0
yeah.
as well, which almost easily was a 1-to-1 scenario as I was watching that one on Dart Connect. Important to note for this match, for Aaron and Joey, the winner of this does play Mike Riley in the top 16 section of the bracket here. So Mike Riley did win 2-1 over Jay Vargo in the previous round.
Once again, for those that are wondering, DCTV has you covered. That DPFL Live Event 3 tab is where you want to go to check out the brackets and more. And by more, I mean you can check out leaderboards, statistics. You can check out 180 count, whatever you want. We got it for you, all provided by Dart Connect.
Okay, we've had one 180 and floor.
Yes, and we've had one 180 and floor from Scott Hanish. We're just going to keep mentioning it throughout the coverage.
We actually get paid $5 every time we mention it from all of Scott Hanish's haters. See right now, Joey does go ahead and grab those 18s, and then there you saw take a shot at the 17 there, trying to potentially get a second house available to himself. I have no issues with that, and it pressures Aaron here to have to get this close. He only gets 3 at it, so not going to give him really any advantage, and Joey's now in control of this leg. How much control will he get?
That is the ultimate question here. Does gather that big triple 19. That will help him out. Forces Aaron to the 16s, and look at him fill it up.
Yeah, I mean, great 6 mark, great timing on it there. Again, Joey's still in control because of the position he is in, but that's something that keeps you alive in a leg where otherwise you could potentially be out of it earlier than you would otherwise like to be.
He's got to find something here. Won't be able to do so. He's got to stay. Only 3. So Joe will attack here on the 15s. Just get rid of him.
Yeah, and he really needed at least the 4 mark there because assuming this gets closed, which it might not get closed, right now there's a 30-point difference, now a little bit more than that, so it's going to be 49-point difference. Well, and you guys are thinking about it in terms of 25s, especially when you get this close to the bullseyes.
Good round there. Using the chainsaw flights, I like it. Little Joe Chaney flights for Aaron.
Yeah, I believe the first time I really watched Aaron play was over in Tennessee. And then I saw him over in South Carolina about a month ago almost.
Okay, here you go. Aaron, 3 bulls for the 1-0 advantage here. Got to find the double.
Yeah, and I don't mind him moving on that third dart off it.
It's tough to move around that dart.
Oh, but Joey.
That's the harm foul there, as Joey does get a 4 mark to go ahead and take the leg. It was one that Aaron, if it's a risky play, do I take the points or do I take my chance at winning the match? or winning the leg, I should say.
No, certainly. And also, I mean, Joey obviously always looked above his years, but 22 years old. And what's important is I think he proves the point and case here that when you're a young player that starts building good habits, it can lead to you having a very successful dart career because of it.
Definitely.
Okay, I found this on the web for when you're young.
I guess Siri wanted to take whatever you just said and run with it. She was answering your question and everything there.
I guess so. That is.
That was from your laptop too,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
that was from my laptop, and it actually did pull up an article about when young players can expect to improve, but not this sport. So that's really funny. That is incredible stuff there. Sorry about that, everybody.
Oh, that is good. That is good. Well, Joey taking his chance at the 20. Misses on the high side, but no harm, no foul taking that look. You need to.
Yeah, absolutely. He's trying to make that play there. And like I said, Aaron's going to have that house money type of mentality. He's excited to be involved with the mix. And right now he's showing that he can absolutely hang neck and neck with Joey. But Joey just has done so good at getting himself in positions of power, right? Getting himself in points where he can dictate how the match is going.
He's trying to do here. He's forcing Aaron to the 18s, and it's an unlucky turn of only a single mark. So Joey right back at it, attacking the 18. Even 3 singles is okay. Get that and then some. Good 5.
Yeah, I love the stay. I love the just, again, you're really kind of pressing your foot to the neck there and making Aaron feel his position, feel the pressure a little bit, and he does a good job answering it, but only to a certain degree as long as Joey can get it closed, but he's not going to be able to, it looks. Well, do you happen to know what barrels Aaron's using? You're usually the barrel identifying expert there. I mean, he is having the Joe Chaney flights. I do know that.
That's a little bit tougher on that one, to be honest.
I did see a question in chat about it, so that's why I was.
Yeah, it's definitely a tapered,
a little
kind of a
tapered fade.
torpedo-shaped barrel. Okay, that may be a Gabriel Clemens dart.
Oh.
Maybe.
Did you just lie to the people? Will?
I think it's a little bit thicker than a Gabby Clemens dart, so it may not be. But it's identical. It's identical.
Look at that miss there from Joey, only getting a single and giving a huge moment here for Aaron. He has to try to grab one of these numbers. He's going to just go for the stay. I mean, a single got the point lead. I think you have to take an opportunity to grab the 19s and 18s there potentially. You're battling a corner versus 2 of the best pieces of real estate in the entire board.
Yeah. Forcing Joey to make decisions here.
Oh, and that one kind of got away from him a little bit. Does regroup on that last start, but Joey with a big opportunity here. And this is one of the moments where I think you could start getting into some pretty interesting chess type of play, maybe potentially grabbing a shot at the bulls, grabbing a 15 or 2 here. It leads to some very interesting scenarios, but Joey does get a last start close on those 16s there.
Yeah, gets the 15s out of the way, but not a pointing opportunity. So Joey closing them out. Oh, my. He leaves one on the table. And Aaron's going to collect on a big triple and then some.
But he hits that first start triple. I think you have to take the shot at the closes there. You might not get another opportunity to close with the point lead.
That is the tricky thing there. He was eyeing the 9, but when you only come up with a 5, that could be uh-oh.
But this is where the gamble paid off. Now he just gets 3 darts to close with no option to point. And there he immediately bailed out on the 19s for the bull. You only needed 2 19s to close, and then you can take your 3rd dart to close the 18s. I really don't love the strategy choice there from Aaron. And normally he's a pretty sound cricket strategy player. But they're just opting for a weird moment to go for the bull, in my opinion.
Either way, Aaron is going to give him the look. 2 bulls for the win for Joey Lanaugh. And a top 16 appearance.
But not
here at
yet.
DPFL. Yeah, he's gonna make the choice. 18's here, I imagine.
Yeah, you might as well. I mean, if you feel that blocked, you need 2, not 1. Go ahead and take that swing at the 18s. Pad a little bit extra.
Oh, he took a shot.
But right now,
Look at Aaron.
Yeah.
Did you see the look?
Aaron, double bull, single bull will get a shot for the 18s here.
Oh, but you got to hit. Guess someone unlocked their door there?
Yeah, it seems like it.
We'll get that locked again.
Well, now, Aaron, this is really the opportunity where you have to capitalize here. There's no way Joey can hand it back over, right? There's no way.
Oh.
Doesn't get the double. Needed to get the 2 bulls in the first 2 darts.
Yep. So 1 for Joey. With some points. He's just going to hang right there.
Yeah, and Joey's looking completely different. I mean, he had to hang right there. He's down.
I guess, yeah, he was down, yep.
This is going to be the leg here. We're going to go to a last leg decider. That is very interesting from both those players. I think kind of just stumbling to the finish line there in that leg a little bit.
It's surprising because Joey's usually the kind of player that'll stomp on that throat and suffocate you in that kind of spot. So did I really see that going Aaron's way? Absolutely not. But either way, we're here.
Well, I didn't see that second leg going in his direction, but that first one he really did play very well.
Look at the opener here. I mean, Joey only capitalizes on 2. Aaron slaps right back at him with a good 4 mark. I thought it was more than that, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm just curious because it really does look like a switch kind of flipped in Joey there at some point in the leg. And I don't know if he's starting to hyperfixate on something, but you can tell something kind of rattled him within himself, I believe. And now with only a 1 mark to follow his 2, Aaron has a chance to potentially run away with this leg. He's going to start those 19s, and if he gets to close, he's going to continue to move on. If he gets close, and he does not.
We do got a lot of people wondering what that dart is. I'm gonna go out there and ask him. I'm gonna laugh when it is a Gabby Clemens dart.
It's actually the Will Stuart Supreme darts.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, the chive barrels, if you will.
Aaron staying on those 20s, trying to capitalize the points. He does gather the triple.
Yeah, and that's a frustrating second dart, right? Because you need 2 singles to close that 19.
Yeah.
You got that first dart trip. He just needed to stay true, and he kind of yanked it over. It's okay to aim for the bottom wire when you need 2 singles on a close, right? I mean, if you have 2 darts in hand, I should say.
Joey's struggling here.
Yeah, I'm telling you, something switched there where it just all of a sudden is not going his direction where it clearly was before. And Aaron right now, I mean, don't get me wrong, some of these darts are going a little bit astray, but the darts that he needs to hit, the must-hit dart of each turn, he is still finding. And that's just some surmounting pressure for Lana.
That'll work, though. That'll work.
Aaron's going to try to get a number of his own. Does decide to switch up. He didn't like that 17, and then switches back down. And see, you're going back and forth there.
Back and forth. Yep.
You're either going to
indecisive.
take 2 at the close, 1 at the point, or 2 at the point, 1 at the close. When you start going back and forth, especially when you're going top to bottom like that, you're readjusting yourself more than you need to. Does just get 3 in it there on the 17, so does not regain the point lead.
Joey takes the 17s, gets rid of them.
But in the first and second leg, this is where things got hairy. Once the 16s and 15s came into play.
Once they came into play, that's where things got interesting there, especially with the Bulls. So,
which I think, if anything, what this match is showing us is how special Clausen's performance on the Bulls there was in the previous match against Danny Young.
Well, I'm going to be honest. Any PDC player or has been on the PDC, for some reason, they just hammer out the Bulls. I mean,
is that why I guess the Bulls?
I guess Gates technically hasn't held a PDC Tour card, but he is awfully good at the Bulls too.
He's almost honorary at this point with how much he's done for the North American game. But so now I know the reason I miss the Bulls is because I've never had a PDC Tour card. That's right.
Jesus, get out.
That's why I've learned. I've learned something today.
Oh my.
Aaron needs to make this last stand at the 15s here. It is now or never, and that dart going astray does not help the case here. Joey Lana is not going to make the same mistake twice that he did in the previous leg here. He's going to make sure to be a little bit more calculated and cool as Sean's mean-mugging our camera in the background there.
He definitely is. That is Sean Green back there in the USA Darts jersey. As you can tell, he's definitely not working, definitely not getting that bottle of water like we asked. But that is some look.
It might
there.
not have been a bottle of water with the way he's acting. I don't know. Who knows?
Oh, it's definitely an energy drink.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yep.
Yeah.
He definitely just took a swig.
And
So.
Joey, there another haywire round at the Bulls, though. This is where if Aaron just dials in a couple, it would be so much of a what if scenario. But the what if might not ever get asked if Joey can close the door here.
Yeah, should be able to double, single for the win. Joey Lanaugh will advance into the top 16 with a win over Aaron Zimmerman. And what was a dicey back and forth affair?
Yeah, I mean, it truly was. And I think Aaron just showed, again, that same mentality. He's playing with house money.
Mm-hmm.
He knows he's one of the local guys that occasionally travels to these bigger comps. And he does pretty well. And it put Joey on alert there a little bit and got a leg on the board as well. So pretty interesting.
Hang tight because I'm going to find out what those darts are for you guys.
Yep. I do see a quick comment here from Mandy saying, Nick, do you still play? Yeah, I bowl all the time. I'm a professional bowler.
No.
No, that's not true. Not much anymore. I do play about an hour a day on the practice board at home, try to stay sharp. And you'll see me in the 65 and under amateur tournament next year.
Did you just say not much anymore, just an hour a day?
Yeah,
That's a lot.
You should have seen how much I used to play back in the day, and for some reason I'm better now because I play less. Maybe that was the secret.
That you don't care. That's what it is. All righty, folks. Hang tight. Little quick ad read. We'll be back with more entertainment here in just a moment as we continue our coverage from the third DPFL Live event here in Kissimmee, Florida.
I'll miss you.
Luke Humphries is the greatest darting force on the planet. Bullseye. Oh, we got one. The fish has been landed. We know he's too good. The world #1, world champion. Incredible stuff.
Let me tell you about A to Z Darts. We're a specialty dart store with over 10,000 different products. We create in-depth videos and blogs to help improve your game and showcase our products. We give helpful advice on how to practice darts, the fundamentals of form and mechanics, and how to make better decisions when purchasing your darting equipment. Whether you're brand new or a seasoned player, we try to provide fun and informative content. I'm Jen, the creative director for A to Z Darts. I've been playing for over 10 years and I've traveled the world competing in and promoting the sport. This is Will. He runs our live streaming company, USA Darts, and travels the globe as well to broadcast major darting events and interview PDC players alike. You'll find over 2,000 different sets of darts on our website. Guessing right now you're pretty interested in our resources? Learn about form, throwing mechanics, practice routines, scoring and grouping, checkout methods, cricket strategy, and much more. Visit a-zdarts.com to take advantage of our blog or follow us on social media at AZDarts today.
greatest darting force on the planet. Bullseye. Oh, we got one. Fish has been landed. We know he's too good. The world number 1, world champion. Incredible stuff.
Let me
Welcome back, everyone, to DPFL Live Event number 3 for Singles Cricket live in Kissimmee, Florida at the Reunion Resort. Sean Green here, joined by Nick Dichiria, and we got a doozy of Albert Anstey taking on Gino Florian. Nick, Gino is a very quick player from Western New York, that Buffalo area. Albert Anstey, a former world champion participant from Canada.
Yeah, and also a little bit more of a methodical thrower, right? He definitely takes his time getting his setup there, really kind of taking every bit of effort to really get the dart adjusted how he likes before throwing that first one. And that's going to be interesting because, some players do better or worse depending on the pacing of the match. And usually the fast players find themselves in more strugglesome moments going against a slower paced player. We're going to see if that affects Gino here today because, let's be honest, he came up to you. I overheard this conversation saying that he was not happy with his stage performance that he has already had. He's going to want a little bit of redemption here, and I think he's going to be thinking, man, I really want some redemption here.
Yeah, I agree with that. And let's give a huge shout out, first of all, to Gino's mustache. Then second of all, to Gino's matching the shoes with the jersey is pretty awesome as well. His shoe game with the jersey is pretty fantastic.
And you have to respect the fit, right? I mean, you got to look good to play good. And that's why I never played good.
Absolutely.
You agreed a little too quick there. Once again.
Whatever.
I do want to give a shout out to each and every one of our people hanging out with us in chat and really talking along with us, especially despite all the issues we've had with our connection wise. It does mean a lot to us that you guys are still coming in here supporting and giving love to not only the players but us, the event, and everything else. It does mean a lot.
I would like to second that opinion as we're getting a good look here at Albert. Get that treble 18. He did. That was a must-needed last dart. Again, Gino throws the dart pretty quickly, and he walks dart 3 a lot. So you're going to see that out of him. It's just his natural style of play. I met Gino and first saw him play soft tip up in Western New York Shootout. Was my introduction. He played very well, him and Ed Levesque. And today, him and Ed made the semifinals in the men's double 501. So they've got to be playing pretty decent to be in that position. And Gino, in this last 32, is looking to continue this role. But Anstey is a very tough opponent. Getting back into the game, he's also a CDC pro. So both these players have their tour cards currently. And we're in for a battle. Nice 7 from Gino.
Yeah, really just being explosive on the board. And that's what he does, right? I mean, we call him Time Bomb for a lot of different reasons. But one of the other reasons is specifically just because he will randomly go and just pop a really big round and then maybe take a little bit to relight the fuse. But when that fuse goes off, it gets results time and time again.
Interesting strategy choice here from Anstey. Goes bowls instead of 15s.
That's a comfortability thing. I have no problems when you're down to the corner pockets of a 15 or a 16 to potentially start utilizing the bowl. It is purely just I hit the bowl that well or you don't, right?
You saw it made Gino do something a little bit different. He went at the bowl on dart 2 at least. Dart 1 could have been going anywhere. And then he does close the 15s on dart 3. So no harm, no foul.
Yeah, the only issue I have with grabbing the bulls in this given scenario is that you expect Gino to probably close those 15s, and it leads to a 4-house advantage for Gino. And I would say, statistically speaking, probably 90% of the time, if you're down 4 houses, you lose the leg.
Yep. Good question there from Mr. Rutherford, or maybe Mr. Rutherford. Gribbs Kiddley doesn't seem like it's a gender-neutral name. Why are you not playing this weekend, Cheyenne? Now that you're a steel tipper, I have that same question.
Yeah, Cheyenne Richards, famous steel tip dart player.
Yep. Let's look around the venue here real quick as Gino is looking closer and closer to wrapping up leg number 1, although Albert's going to put some scoring in. There's the point lead. And a big point lead. Now, 4 wedges.
And
That's all you got to say.
And that's where that 4 wedge conversation comes into play, like we talked about, right? Unfortunately, now if he had a double bowl, single bowl, or double bowl, then it could have left an opportunity for him to grab a single 20 and make it a 3-house to bulls.
Well, Cheyenne, now you know for next year. You got to come here. Alex Bowman just defeated Brian Mundy in a top 16 match 2-0. Jeff Smith playing Jim Widmeyer, top 16. Jermaine Wadamina, top 16 against Stephen Krikorian. Joey Lenaw, Mike Riley. And then this one right here, Albert Anstey, Gino Florian. Those are the matches going on. Yellow Klassen's about to take on Mike Gentry in that top 16. So this is the last top 32, it looks like, that's in the venue.
Yeah, that is correct there. And I do like that play from Gino. He does grab 2 20s and takes that last start for the single bull there. Again, taking full advantage of the fact that the game can't be closed by Albert just by the given situation. Now Gino gets a return with just a 2 mark needed on any number here to get leg number 1 underway.
And he does get leg number 1 underway with a nice treble 20. So Gino, 1-0 lead over Albert Anstey. I apologize, Gino's from the Syracuse area. He's a huge Buffalo Bills fan, though. I didn't know that about Gino. Like, huge. Massive.
Huge.
Just a fun fact because I had to. Yeah,
Hi, Will.
Last, we're at the Las Vegas Open.
Yep.
He wore his Buffalo Bills jersey. Well, that's the same weekend he played the Kansas State Chiefs. And I kind of went up there. I was like, let's go Chiefs. He looked at me dead in my heart, and you could tell he did not appreciate that one bit.
No.
Big Buffalo Bills fan.
Yeah, he's ride or die on his truck and everything.
Yeah. So we'll just go ahead and say, go Chiefs for him. There you go.
I did not say that. Go Colts.
I also did not say that.
Yeah, because Nick would say go sports ball.
Yeah, sports ball. Woohoo!
And that's what I'm dealing with, folks. Tuning in from Saudi Arabia with Gemma Katora, Matt Katora.
Did you add an extra A to that? You say Saudi?
Or Saudi Arabia, sorry. My traditional checking in from the other side of the globe. Appreciate you checking in with us. Guys, thank you so much for joining us here. USA Darts Productions bringing you this DPFL Live Event number 3, the 3rd annual version of this. And it's gotten bigger and better every year that we've been here. The internet's now perfect. It was getting bigger and better until this year. But the people out there playing are those top-tier PDC pros are out there, a lot of overseas players. And then we have a major event coming up tonight at 6:30 start time, and that is the championship for the DPFL this season. $6,000 to first place.
That's a lot of money.
It's a
lot of clamps.
shoot ton.
Mm-hmm. And shoot ton is the official term for that, right?
Yep. Albert points first. No, close to the 17s first. Going to move to the 16s. They're forgetting about the 18s.
Yeah, I
never got time for those anyway.
Yeah, I think that was more just a rhythm shot. I think he was just like, all right, well, after 7 is 6. So I think that's one of those moments where you're not even really thinking about the 18s in play and maybe even just handing them over willingly. I don't think there's necessarily an issue, especially because he got 2 marks on an open number to grab.
Well, Gino's having a
yes,
not
that
very good
is
leg.
Eastern time. Yes, that is correct.
Yep. 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. So 3:30 your time.
Yep.
All right, Albert. Look to close the 18s. He should not stay there. And he doesn't. Goes back to point.
You can see he has that tip pointed almost to the ceiling when he brings it back to his eye line there, but then basically kind of snaps his arm at the very end to give it that speed, that momentum from the slower drawback there.
These gentlemen coming into this match averaging a 3.42 and a 3.32. Gino the edge in that, but nothing in it so far in this leg. Albert now in control and needs that treble 18 at some point. That's an unlucky second dart. Drag it over to 5. Finds it. I don't know how he found that dart there. That's crazy. Finds the treble. Nick's been a great week so far. We're barely touching the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people would yell at me for saying it's the weekend already. But so far, so good. We've had a great time here in Kissimmee, Florida. Your hometown, pretty much. You're two miles away from here.
Yep.
Explain what it's like to show up to an event that's kind of in your backyard, that's bringing PDC professionals and things like that to the table.
It's truly surreal. Like, even if I wasn't traveling to events and stuff like that, and I was just a fan of the game, I mean, it is just a shell shock experience to be able to be around all these players, be around all this talent, that wisdom on the dart game. It's something that you only really hear about on the floor events overseas almost. To see that here, and also just to see our players representing themselves so well here as well, shows that this is something that can happen for the North American game in the long term as well, and have more and more events where it is this caliber, this quality. To be so close to it, it's truly an honor. And also, let's be honest, I'm so glad that I can take a break from my Spirit flights. Thanks, USA Dart. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. They give me Frontier, guys.
Frontier. Oh, man. That's weird because they always do Southwest for me.
Yeah, you're more expensive than I am.
Well, it's on my rider.
Gino does find 4 bowls in there.
Will said we're going to be taking bicycles next time, but that's only if we don't forget to pick him up.
That's true. You can't forget to pick up somebody on a tandem bike.
We're looking to close out leg number 2 to make this a 1-1 scoreline to go to the last leg decider. It does so with a double. Let's go the distance.
Let's go for speed.
We're not alone.
I don't know the rest of the words. I'm sorry.
In this time of need. Let's go.
There we go. This stream brought to you by Cake, by the way.
By the ocean.
Feeling the motion?
What? All right, Gino can start off with the treble. And I know Will quickly went to that side shot, but if you go to that side shot, you'll see sitting down there just having a conversation, Keegan Brown and Soldier, Leonard Gates, in the background.
Yeah, I believe they are ranting about how much they don't like Danny Baggish.
I think he's sitting right there, too, so probably.
Yeah, probably he's just outside a shot there. No, it's really cool because it's also, it's fascinating. One of the other things we talk, talking about how cool it is to have an event like this in the backyard, is just seeing all these different players from across the world interact, the conversations they have, and the camaraderie amongst them is just, it's really cool. I mean, it's the stuff that you don't get to see on the TVs and the broadcast.
There you go. Good look at Jermaine Wadamina sitting down. These are all players that are waiting, I believe. Soldier, is also waiting. So all these guys are still in this tournament. Yeah, so we actually have Soldier taking on Kenny Doyle next, which is Season 1 champion of the CSC Challenger Series, taking on Season 2 and 3 champion of the CSC Challenger Series. We could have done this remotely from our own houses.
Yeah, I know, right? A very familiar matchup for us, indeed. Winner of this match, by the way, does play Keegan Brown. Keegan Brown does beat out David Fathom 2-0 in the top 16, so I do want to mention that, as well as Albert here. Almost finds them all, finds 7 in there, and trying to make a stand in this leg where right now Gino so far is out in front. Gino, if he hits at least the 4, he's definitely going to try to grab a close here. He might still try to grab one anyways, but decides to stay there.
Yeah, Keegan stopped the run that David Fathom was having so far. He averaged a 4.57 in that victory over David Fathom. Alex Bowman starting to really get hot in this tournament.
Albert's
4.53.
Albert's picking it up right now. He is on an onslaught.
Boom
7
goes the dynamite for Albert Anstie.
7 on the last go, 9 on this one. That is some perfection at the right moment in a leg where Gino is about to have 3 numbers up on him. Instead, the tail of the tape is completely flipping, and you can see Gino pops the 17 there that he probably should have popped in the previous rounds. And Albert shows why, loading it up there and leaving an opportunity to potentially leave Gino houseless here.
Not good. He's been aggressive on the closes. Not going to leave him houseless, which is a fun saying to say.
Yeah, it's better than saying homeless, right? I feel like.
Well, houseless. They're not really homes in cricket, but they are houses, which is interesting.
I don't know. He's making those 20s his home right now. Does get to the point lead by 5 there. See what he did there?
Speaking of 5, Albert's on 255, looking to get back in this. Going to shoot at the close without a wedge.
Speaking of wedges,
Stop. There's a golf course around here. Literally, all around here. Big treble 16. That might actually be a dart that gets him out of trouble here. Unless Gino has something to say.
Yeah, and again, it started off with a Gino being well out in front, and then Albert making a comeback there, but then staying on the close for too long. It's one of these like weird shot selection moments right there. I mean, Gino should have probably gone for a 19 first.
Yeah, that's not probably. Gino should have pointed there, especially after the miss on dart 2. There's zero reason to shoot that third dart at the double.
Oh, certainly agree for the third dart.
See if it costs him. There's the point lead.
Yeah, but just bare
And
minimum.
Albert's been aggressive. No, he stays there on the points. Gets 64. He's made Gino pay when Gino has missed for the close.
And 59 is an awkward number to be down here because he needed a 4 mark to get that point lead fully regained.
Let's get it back.
Does get it. And unfortunately, that trip didn't fall on the first or second dart there, because if he trips on the first or second dart, he's going to get that close every single time. Albert has an opportunity to get himself out of this position. But this is a turn where I would have to say it needs to come into play.
Today?
Wait.
What do you say?
Hey. Well, Stuart gave us a thumbs down for that interaction, by the way. Mostly at you, I would presume.
Oh, no, I was shaking my head, too. I was
Oh.
giving you a thumbs down
Oh.
in my mind.
Gino does get the close there, trying to regain that point lead. And then over to the 15s. I don't love that last start, the 15. Again, you have the 19s here in a corner pocket situation. Now Albert has an opportunity. If he hits 4 15s, he gets a shot for the 19 to have advantage going into the bowl.
Well, the great news for either Gino or Albert is whoever wins this one gets to play Keegan Brown.
Yeah, that's always worth mentioning.
Again, we're going to have Leonard Gates, Kenny Doyle coming up. The winner of that one will play the winner of Keegan Brown versus either Gino or Albert. We do have some quarterfinalists already. Joey Lenaw, 2-1 victory over Mike Riley. He will play the winner of Jeff Smith, Jim Widmeyer. It's going on currently out there. Alex Spellman defeats Brian Mundy, 2-0. He'll play the winner of Jelle Clausen, Mike Gentry.
Oh, Albert's trying to get this close. He has to close it here.
Jermaine Wadamina waiting on the winner of John Shawman, Danny Baggish. We're talking about a great battle would be Wadamina versus Baggish.
I certainly agree there. As you can see, Albert does take his time on that tactful close, putting Gino into a little bit of a high-pressure situation. Does decide to just close the 15s and get him out of there. So now it's 4-3 on the Bulls for the match and to move into the top 16.
It's a bold move, Cotton, to give Albert the match starts here, only needing 3 bowls. Now that is tough because the adjustment's even poor. Yeah. Miles off on the first start. It was not looking good.
Yeah, it does grab a bowl at the end of that throw there, but this is the moment for Gino. You have to feel like there's just some questionable strategies that led to the situation. It could still go his way. Clicks the wire.
After the first dart, he had to think it was going, and then he misses outside on dart 2. Still almost finds it. Is that going to cost him this match? It's likely.
Albert would like to say yes.
Now, again, same thing, though. That first dart's so far off that it's going to be hard for him to adjust.
Needs one more bowl for the match.
And he does get it in there. Takes out Gino. 2-1. So Albert Anstey will move on to play Keegan Brown. And the legend from Canada continues to march on. And I love it. Gino's upset, but Gino's never going to, be rude or anything. Albert's definitely happier in this situation. But this is a show of darts right here on the screen. Gino, upset, trying to talk himself out of being upset. It's like, it happens, whatever, it's fine. And Albert just happily walking off stage, ready to play the next round.
Well, Sean, we got a good one in the next round here. Leonard Gates, Kenny Doyle, a classic matchup familiar to a lot of the fans at USA Darts, and I'm looking forward to seeing it take place right on this stage, the one you're looking at right here, that stage. That one? That one.
You mean the Hanish hockey?
The Hanish hockey. All righty, guys, we'll be right back in just a moment's time.
Welcome back to DPFL Darts Live Event number 3 here in Kissimmee, Florida. We have a matchup that, if you follow USA Darts, if you follow soft tip darts at all, this one's one that you're going to be used to. CSC Challenger Series matchup between two favorites of that. It's going to be Kenny Doyle, Sunshine State Santa.
The easiest to say nickname in the game.
Not for me. My S's are terrible. Taking on Soldier. Way easier to say. Leonard Gates. You want to talk about two very high-skilled cricket players. Now we get to see them on a steel tip board, battling it out, Nick.
Yeah, and for those that might be watching that have not seen as much of the Kenny Doyle soft tip game, maybe you only watch on the steel side of the of it all. He's one of the most consistent top-level shots. He's not the highest of the top-level shots, but he is consistently finding himself in great performances, great match averages, and really gets results on a pretty regular basis, and he's been doing that for the last, I don't know, from the looks of the beard, 75 years.
No, he's Santa, so since time existed.
That's fair.
Kenny Doyle is averaging a 3.96 in his 3 matches that he's played so far, and that's compared to Leonard Gates' 4.23. So not a whole lot of difference between the two of them. This is really going to be a battle. I think whoever starts, whoever plays better out the gate is going to be the one that takes this down. You have Winmore sponsored player Leonard Gates taking on Super Darts, Kenny Doyle.
Admittedly, right now, Gates is coming out of the gates better.
Well, he likes puns.
He does. He's a big fan of him. But no, you can see right now, Kenny trying to get the number open, really trying to get something settled. He hasn't had any of his darts that are clicking the wires go the right way yet in this one. And you're going to only have so much time to figure it out. But if there's one thing we know about Kenny Doyle is don't leave him the 17s. That is his go-to number.
Well, this is the part of the bracket that's behind just a touch. Yeah. Behind just a touch of the rest of the bracket. The other quarterfinals are set up, ready to go. Joey Lanaw, Jeff Smith, Jelle Clausen, Alex Spellman, Jesus, Keegan Brown, Albert Anstey, Leonard Gates, Kenny Doyle. The winners of both of those will play each other. And then Jermaine Wadamina, Danny Baggish. I don't know about you, but I have not seen a more stacked quarterfinal in a very long time between players.
Yeah, I mean, that's to be expected with this field, and it's going to be something you're going to hear save throughout pretty much every one of these events almost. Do like Gates utilizing the bowl after closing the 17s there. He's setting himself up with a game shot on this visit right here. 16-15 for the bowl will be the look. 15-16 for the bowl will be the look.
He'll go to 16s now. Kenny has to point a lot of 16s. I'm going to say 9 mark needed.
Yeah.
And then hope.
Yeah, if you're Kenny right now, you're thinking, okay, just make sure my game is grooving and I'm ready for the next leg. If I happen to sneak up on the tail end of this one, so be it. But all he's thinking about is just making sure he's settled and continuing to throw one dart at a time until the opportunity arises.
Well, Kenny Doyle throwing my least favorite style of dart points in the world. It's no offense to 180, but they are the reflex points that do a little wiggle, wiggle, wiggle in that dartboard when they land.
Which is funny because Kenny's normally you see like players with ADHD sometimes struggle with the wiggle on them. I know for a fact because I'm a player with ADHD that struggles.
I could not throw with him.
Kenny actually does also have ADHD, and he doesn't seem to mind him. And for some reason, that's one of the few things he doesn't mind. And there's the points are extremely thin,
right?
And there's again benefits to that because you can fit more darts on a smaller surface area.
Leonard Gates, 1 dart needed, and hit to take out leg number 1, and a real off leg for Kenny Doyle. 2.7 is definitely not what he's going to look to do. It's not what he expects to do. I'm pretty sure that's probably the lowest average he's had in the last year and a half in a cricket leg.
Yeah, he's not going to be happy with that performance whatsoever, but the performance isn't over. The show must go on, and we're on to leg number 2.
The problem, though, is that Gates broke the throw in leg number 1, so he's throwing for the match, and to give Soldier the start and the high ground makes it even tougher for a comeback. Man, look at those things. Just
wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Exactly. And there's a 5 to follow the 5. High fives. All right. Soldier going down, being aggressive on the close.
Yeah, I wonder if he's just taking advantage of the fact that he has that first leg under his belt. Maybe he's just feeling that extra bit of confidence. You can afford to take the more risky shots whenever you are in that advantage match point position. If you're Kenny, sometimes you have to take those risky shots, and that's the difference.
All right, so I'm going to point this out because this is a bit of a new display version of Dark Connect here for the Cricket. And as a soft tip player that I start out playing, I have not a whole lot of problem with this. But as a steel tip player, I hate that it gives the -15 or the plus of how many points up and behind you are, because the math there is so much simpler to figure out knowing that. That would frustrate me as a steel tip player to have that added to this.
Yeah, I mean, we had a comment about it earlier for someone because I mean, the Cricket enhancement.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I believe that is actually what it's called there. You know, it adds a little bit of coaching, and it takes it does take away, in my opinion, the part of the mental side of cricket of keeping track of how many marks to relative points. I do believe it is a toggleable feature, but I'm not 100% certain on that.
Ooh. Well, that's interesting. If it is or is not, we're going to figure that out. Well, it won't be on yours. It would have to be a setting on the actual board. Oh, so there is not an actual feature of it telling you that. So it's just on our screen.
Yeah, it's just on the one that we're viewing there. So it's actually, and as a viewer, I actually appreciate that.
Yeah, now I love it.
Never mind. You know what?
What a great addition by Dark Connect.
Just want
to add that for the viewer at home.
Yeah, no. So, you know what? Completely retract everything we said. Big fans, thank you. And Greg Tong, I'm sorry.
No, Dason Albert getting in there for the first time. What's up, brother? He says, good morning. All right, it's 4 p.m. Eastern. He's in Dakota, so that's fine. Not really fine.
Not
but
really,
anyway,
still not
loved waking up to seeing Scott go down for the 180. If you have not checked out the now viral clip here at DPFL event, Live Event 3, Scott Hanisch gave us a moment that will last a lifetime.
Well, what's not going to last a lifetime right now is Kenny Doyle's run at this rate. Just right now, Leonard Gates has not really given up much control at all. And in fact, it's totally dictated where this game is going. He's dictating it right here as well.
Yeah, huge darts. Did he hit the double? No, he hit a single, but puts himself in the driver's seat for sure. Kenny's going to have to hit a lot of 15s and then hope Leonard Gates does not just pull off a Leonard Gates move.
Well, even if Kenny betted the number, they're having 2 numbers and 2 marks on the bowl. If you get that bowl closed early on in a game of cricket, it really just makes every game feel so like impending on the end of it, right? It feels like it can be over at any moment, just like how this one could potentially be over in this moment. 1 bull.
And Leonard Gates does pull it off against Kenny Doyle. Made that look simple, to say the least. And Soldier marches on to the quarterfinal. He will take on the winner of Keegan Brown, Albert Anstie. That match should be starting out there. Right now is not even scheduled for a board, which scares me just a scotch. So we might be getting Keegan Brown versus Albert Anstie. We're going to find out here and come back with more action live at the DPFL Live Event number 3. The conclusion of singles cricket will be happening in the next hour or so. Shout out to Pops in the chat. But Sean Green, Nick Dichiria, Will Stuart, and everyone else in the venue. We'll be right back.
Shout out to Pops in the chat.
Tell you about A to Z Darts. We're a specialty dart store with over 10,000 different products. We create in-depth videos and blogs to help improve your game and showcase our products. We give helpful advice on how to practice darts, the fundamentals of form and mechanics, and how to make better decisions when purchasing your darting equipment. Whether you're brand new or a seasoned player, we try to provide fun and informative content. I'm Jen, the creative director for A to Z Darts. I've been playing for over 10 years, and I've traveled the world competing in and promoting the sport. This is Will. He runs our live streaming company, USA Darts, and and travels the globe as well to broadcast major darting events and interview PDC players alike. You'll find over 2,000 different sets of darts on our website. Guessing right now you're pretty interested in our resources? Learn about form, throwing mechanics, practice routines, scoring and grouping, checkout methods, cricket strategy, and much more. Visit a-zdarts.com to take advantage of our blog or follow us on social media at azdarts today.
Welcome back to DPFL Live, number 3 here in Kissimmee, Florida, at the Reunion Resort. I'm Sean Green, joined by the GOAT of USA Darts Productions, Mr. William Stuart. Will, we have the 72nd ranked player in the world doing battle here against Albert Anstey, the former BDO world champion participant, against the current PDC professional.
Yeah, looking forward to this matchup. Man, not every day you get to see a PDC pro in action, especially the likes of Keegan Brown. I mean, just a big shout-out. I mean, it's been a little bit since COVID, but he did kind of take some time off darts to help out with the services of healthcare and whatever overseas. So that was kind of cool. He's a great individual. I think he came for the Las Vegas Open as well, if I'm not mistaken. I believe I saw him there.
He wasn't there this year.
I think last year.
He might have shown up last year, but it's great to see him here. I will say this, okay, because I've watched now a lot of the overseas players play cricket to kind of just gauge where they're at, right? Because at LVO, you had situations where players were coming over and playing cricket for the first time ever.
Yeah.
And it was interesting. So Keegan Brown has been given the approval from Danny Baggish that he's a darn good cricket player.
And that's a big statement for him to do that. I mean, most of these guys, let's be honest, most of these guys are pretty tactically sound. I mean, your quarterfinals alone is that one of these guys, Albert or Keegan, will be in the quarterfinals, but your lineup after that, I mean, you got Jermaine Wadamina taking on Danny Baggish, Jeff Smith taking on Joey Lanaw, Leonard Gates is going to take on the winner of this one. And then what's our other one? It's
Yella Klaas and Alex Pellman.
Yeah. So, come on.
Jermaine Wadamina has already beat Danny Baggish 2-0.
Yeah, I kind of hopped out there. I hopped out there, and Danny was a little bit off, and you could tell Jermaine was putting in a good 7, 9, erased the leg pretty quickly.
I'm going to say this, and it's going to be a bold statement to make right here. The favorite of this event's out.
Yeah.
Danny Baggish now.
I wouldn't say he's the favorite.
I know.
I wouldn't say
that's
he's the favorite.
It's not really the smartest thing for me to say, based on how he plays the game of cricket versus the field. I would say he's got to be one of the favorites just based off of that.
To me, it's Gates right now.
Well,
Gates,
for sure.
I think Gates the favorite. Even in the quarterfinal with Danny Baggish still in it, I think he would have been my favorite just because of how often he plays and where he's at. I mean, Danny taking the time off a little bit. We saw that this past week.
I mean, but if you look overall here.
At averages?
Yeah, 3, 4, and 5 are separated by 0.05.
Ooh.
And that's Jermaine Wadamina, Leonard Gates, Alex Bowman.
Gosh, that is nuts.
Yeah. We have 9 players averaging above a 4 here in this event. 9 players. Like a boom goes the dynamite amount of players. And minimum 2 matches for those players. Those are Danny Young was the top average of 4.34, which I told him out in the parking lot after he lost in the last leg decider because he was upset with himself. I told him, you're probably going to average the highest average in this, and that's going to make you more frustrated.
Yeah.
And he is. David Fathom, a 4.27. Then after those, Baggish, the 4.12. Jason Degnault, a 4.10. Jim Widmeyer's 4.02. And then Jean Van Vliet, 4.0 exactly. And Albert Anstey gets the point lead back, but barely. So advantage Keegan Brown here. A couple troubles goes a long way. And let's be honest, no matter what game they're playing, they're still playing darts.
Yeah.
And if you're a PDC professional, guess what? There's a reason you're there.
Yeah.
You've been there for that long. Keegan Brown has been
He's been
as
there for
high
a
as
little
the
while.
top 30 in the world and has won PDC ranking events. This is a special player and a special talent in darts.
It's very hard to maintain your tour card year to year to year, and the fact that Keegan has done that is pretty impressive. So,
and let me tell you, a mensch off that dartboard. He is an absolute fantastic.
He's a great, yeah. He's pretty cool.
Very personable.
I just when he just walked into the room and I went up to him, I walked by him and eye contact, hey, how's it going? And I said, we might need some help in the comms booth this week. I got you. Let me know.
All right, so next match will also not feature Nick Dichiria.
It'll be Keegan Brown.
Never mind. He's gonna probably win this one. It looks likely.
Well,
even with Anstey up 6 points, this is an advantage to Keegan Brown.
We can't speak
maybe not
too quickly, but
trouble.
We will see.
More like trouble. Now it's trouble.
It is trouble instead of treble. Here we go with Albert. Just looking to close this out here. Possibly capitalize on some more points. Got to hit the triple here.
Yep. Need it.
Oh.
And not in. So Keegan Brown.
Yeah.
Door talk about bright-eyed here with this opportunity.
Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, indeed. Gets the point lead, says, I'm going to stay right here for some more. Honestly, I expected a little bit more there. I expected at least a 4 or 5 mark.
Yeah, and it really is big because it's only a 24-point lead.
And that's the thing.
And Albert still has
He's got a shot here at the leg.
Oh, after the first one, he got a little too excited. Dart 2 leaned into it. And I've seen Keegan Brown shoot a numerous amounts of darts at bowl. He has yet to miss one.
There's a single. Oh, makes it a little bit difficult now, as he will go to the 15s and miss.
That's huge.
The fat number, Sean.
That's an extra bullseye on the miss.
That is massive indeed. So Albert needing 2 bowls and a single 15 to get the job done here in the first leg. And you can see Keegan staring down that TV we have over there, wondering what just happened.
Needs another.
Will he go 15 bowl or just stay right there? I think he'll stay right there. Hit the bull. Oh, beautiful. Easy.
And single 15. Leg number 1.
You see how quickly quickly that third dart was in his hand, ready to go?
And Keegan said, good game, was what he said there. It'd still be nice if we got chalkers on that stage, guys.
Yeah, and
anyone in the venue that's not doing anything at this moment?
Jermaine and Danny didn't have a chalker either.
No one has really in this cricket.
I'm going to be honest. I think that
except
some
for
some of them are preferring it, I think, which is kind of crazy.
I would never prefer.
I wouldn't.
To not have a chalker.
Now,
it's much easier to chalk cricket. I have no problem chalking cricket. That's just counting marks. But
it just makes it easier. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to.
You can just walk back.
You can just walk back. Yeah.
It's really more about the pace of play that's affected than anything else. And it does take a half second to do what Keegan just did there. Pause at that line before even raising your dart. Let's point out, I really like those darts from Keegan Brown. The pink stripe in the middle there is beautiful. We'll get a good look at that. And we had this mentioned earlier from John O. from the LA area. I like K. Brown's jersey. It's a lot better than his pink salmon one. And I like it because of the American version of it. I can tell you right now, I think he brought 4 of those. And I think they got claimed quicker than anything else.
Really?
Yeah, I know for a fact that he's been asked for a couple of those. It
is a nice little
I like it.
Jersey with the online darts logo on there.
Love his logo, too, on the back. The KB is very clean.
Yeah, big shout-out to Phil Bars, one of our guys we work with occasionally throughout our world of darts here.
I'm not special enough to work with Phil yet.
Get out of here.
Phil, I'm going to get there. Don't you worry. He's always been fantastically nice human being, too.
Oh, Phil's top-notch, yeah.
He's one of those guys, a big hug when I see him.
If you catch any of the after-match interviews, most of the time Phil's on-site taking care of those, has such knowledge of the game, and also doing the Motus Series commentary now. He's a good commentator, man. I'll tell you what.
Absolutely. You guys are going to hear that next. Albert Anstey's up 1-0, so this might ruin his mood, actually, but we'll see. Appreciate everybody tuning in with us here at USA Darts Productions. Hit that like button, hit that share button. Let everybody know we are live here with PDC professionals and former BDO World Championship appearance from Albert Anstey and Keegan Brown. And then next coming up on our stream is going to be, well, two kings of New York, really. Jeff Smith, the silencer, the king of the Hulu Theater at Madison Square Garden, taking on Joey Lanaw, the 22-year-old phenom.
Good quarterfinal we're going to see there. Yelly Clausen did get beat.
What?
Yelly Clausen did get beat by Alex Spellman. That was a 2-1 affair. So,
Spellman beat him? Okay.
Yep.
And the averages there in that match, Alex Spellman a 4.48 defeats Clausen's 4. So, still waiting on their opponents there in the semifinal, but there's two semifinalists. It's Jermaine Wadamina and Alex Spellman. The winner of Joey Lanaw, Jeff Smith, gets Alex Spellman. The winner of this matchup and Leonard Gates will take on Jermaine Wadamina.
Yeah. And I wonder how we'll do it here. We may get one of the quarters.
I know exactly
we
what
may
we're
get two. Okay.
So we're getting Joey Lanaw, Jeff Smith as our next match on stream, and then we will get the semifinals in the final.
Okay, so we're not going to go
Correct.
quarterfinal, both semis, and then the final. We're just going to get the one.
We're going to get both semis.
Okay, we are
Yep.
getting both semis. Okay, great. I want to make sure more
Yep.
darts, the better, as we've kind of unfortunately missed a couple things yesterday and today.
Yeah, and
Once again, apologies on that one, but
it's frustrating and
seems to be good. We'll
Yep.
knock on that,
knocking on that wood.
making sure you hear it.
Look at this from Keegan Brown.
Come on, fill it.
Ooh. Doesn't quite get it there, but advantage now in this leg. Definitely favoring Brown.
And he needs it, too. He needs to make this 1-1. Try to force that last leg decider.
Great treble 16. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Let us know who you have
Wow.
in this matchup.
You see how quick Keegan threw that after Albert got out of the way? He was set up, ready to go.
And he knew exactly what he was going to do. Two fat 16s. And then that treble 17. Big last dart. Albert needs at least 4 of those more in order to get that point lead. He's already got 6. He's still behind 6 points. Now has the lead by 9.
Watch. Set up, and boom.
Is that in?
I think
Yep.
so.
It's got to be. That last dart would have made 0 sense if it wasn't. Great darts from Keegan Brown. Anstey, a lot of work left, but still winning darts in his hand.
He does. Got to go double-double.
Oh, not going to do it. Now looking to get at least 4 to get that point lead. He can't do that either. So Keegan Brown needs 2 bowls to send us to a last leg decider here in this last 16 match. The winner of this one gets a wonderful battle between Leonard Gates.
He thinks there's something left out there.
Yeah, and you see Keegan's backing him up because he is actually adding a mark to Albert.
Yeah.
And making sure.
Just in case.
And, well, that's great sportsmanship all around anyway. Keegan also knows he's going to hit 2 bowls.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Maybe. That's almost a blocker. Never mind.
Yeah, I'm going to say it. Come on. Yeah,
He figured it out. And it's now a 1-1 scoreline. Let's go to a last leg decider. Keegan Brown, Albert Anstey, Mickey Mouse darts, a.k.a. Cricket. Here we go.
You know, it's amazing how many, with the heavy hitters come over here and then they take this game back with them. I mean, Cameron Menzies was one at Las Vegas Open who really enjoyed cricket. Now look where he's at in the PDC. He was creeping up there, almost made the match play this year.
Yeah, and it has everything to do with playing cricket at Las Vegas Open.
Everything.
In January.
Every bit of it. No, I just think
Look at that. Look at those darts. I love those things. Those are
They're
so pretty.
they're pretty simple. Let's be honest.
But I like the black and silver and
Yeah,
pink.
yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, there's a lot of pulling and then marking by players, which
think
is very interesting and
that's
different.
that's trust. That's
Well, right.
trust. Yep. I think that's a lot of trust. And somebody mentioned that earlier with Jeff. Jeff, is Jeff pulling his darts beforehand?
Yes.
I guarantee you they don't even think about that
They're,
anymore.
they're just trying to be as quick as possible.
Yep.
And for them, pulling their darts first allows the player to at least see their
They're
targets.
They're so used to just pulling and going
Yep.
that I guarantee you that's not even etched in their mind at all. Because, online darts, that's the only time you really do that anymore for them. Let's be honest.
Yeah. I don't
even think they do that.
do
They just trust each
no.
other.
Do they ever mark their own matches? I don't think so.
No, not on the PDC.
We're going to
never.
ask Keegan, when was the last time you chalked your own match? I wonder what type of answer he's going to give.
That's a very good question to ask him.
And if he says
Along
yesterday,
with-
I'm going to be very upset.
Along with the other ones, should we fill the audience in on what you got planned or just leave them guessing?
We can talk about it. It'll be great as long as – now, once I say this and put it into fruition, I'm forced to do it. Okay, so what I came up with was I have a list of some American sayings, such as plead the fifth, and I'm going to interview a lot of our European players and maybe some non-European players that maybe we just think might not know what these things mean either, and just ask them what to guess the meaning of these phrases. So plead the fifth is one of those. So there's going to be a number of them. I've already kind of talked to a few of the European players just to make sure I have a good list of kind of the right sayings to use, and the results that I've already received is golden.
Impressive. Yeah. Ryan W. Saying, why do people exit the Aki to the right after grabbing their darts when there's a chalker and sometimes an announcer at the PDC there? Well, that is for the cameras.
Yep.
That's 100% for the cameras. That is why you see that. And you can tell when a more inexperienced player is up there for the stream because they will grab their darts, go to the left, just out of habit maybe.
Well, you know what the actual rule is for this? Like if you're on just a normal board in a venue, the actual rule is you exit towards the chalker.
Yep.
You exit towards the score.
Yep.
So the reason why you do that, of course, is if you don't have a chalker, you're obviously exiting towards the tablet or whatever. And if you do have a scorer, you're exiting that way so that everyone else in the venue, because the boards are close enough to each other within 5 feet, you're not running into the players next door who exit the opposite way when there's no cameras. So that's still the rule in play.
Wow.
And that was from John Part himself, so I know that's true.
Okay. Well, how about Albert here? He's really grabbed a hold of this leg.
Yeah, this is to take out Keegan Brown.
And he's running with it here. 3 fat 15s will work. But that's tough.
It's still a lot of work left for Keegan, but it's Keegan Brown. Is he going to take a look? He tried to take a look, and I like the aggressiveness from that. And he missed the treble, hit a treble 2, so only a 14-point lead for Albert or for Keegan is going to cement this. If I'm Albert, I close the 15s first.
Yeah, I go ahead. Get rid of those. Go to the 20s.
He does it.
Even the 17s here is not a bad choice, but you might as well go with a big number.
Yeah, the switch to the 17 is probably a little bit simpler.
It's a little bit easier, but see, he missed one there.
Yep.
And
That one makes
I
a
don't think it's
difference.
going to be a factor in the end, but it could be. We'll see.
With how well.
Oh, there's
Yeah.
a good double.
I'm telling you, there's going to be pressure on this a whole way through. Their minimum is going to be 3 bowls for Keegan Brown. His maximum could honestly be 6, and that can happen at any time.
A few overseas contributors here. There's a reason why we
And Albert's pointing away.
say the single double for the bull bit, just because it's easier in that cricket mentality.
Well, it's a cricket term.
Yeah, exactly.
We know it's the bullseye in the 25. We get that. In this game, though, because you're marking it by marks, it's a single mark versus a double mark. And there's 3 from Keegan Brown.
That will put him out in front by just a little bit of a margin.
Just a scotch. But it's enough to where Albert, I think, just has to stay on points.
Yeah, taking your shot here is risky because you need double
Very.
single. So just go ahead and stay there.
And it keeps winning darts out of Keegan's hands. You never want Keegan Brown to have winning darts in his hand.
Kind of a difficult dart.
Yeah, and you can see. And unfortunately, that's not going to even be enough to get the point lead back.
Albert Anstey needing 3 bulls for a quarterfinals berth
Match starts incoming.
in singles cricket.
Great marker for the double, too. And he does pin the double. So Keegan Brown takes out Albert Anstey takes out Keegan Brown 2-1. An upset alert from the Canadian, who continues to march forward. Has now made the quarterfinal. He will take on Leonard Gates, so it doesn't get an easier road. I would argue maybe more difficult, but he's still off and running. Albert Anstey making the run of a lifetime against some of those top players.
Can he book his place into the semifinals? He's going to have a good matchup next. Folks, don't go anywhere, though. We'll be back with more action here in just a moment. Go ahead.
Yep, Joey Lanaw taking on Jeff Smith. So hit that like button, hit that share button. Let everybody know that's the match coming up next.
Humphries is the greatest darting force on the planet. Bullseye. Oh, we got one. The fish has been landed. We know he's too good. The world #1, world champion. Incredible stuff.
Let me tell you about A to Z Darts. We're a specialty dart store with over 10,000
Well, we'll cut the ad short, I guess. Joey Lanaugh takes on Jeff Smith in our quarterfinals here in the singles cricket event in Kissimmee, Florida. William Stewart, alongside me is Mr. Sean Green.
What's up, buddy?
Good matchup there between Albert and Keegan. I think Keegan won a little bit more, but we're going to roll right on through to
Yeah, Albert's
This
having the
one.
time of his life. I'm telling you that right now.
I guarantee you. I just saw you yelling at him, and he was having a good old time back there.
So, Albert gave me some great insight, and it makes perfect sense, right? He goes, I don't even really know how to play this game. And it makes sense because there are times where he is aggressively closing with a higher number instead of just pointing.
Yeah.
So he's about to play Leonard Gates. I may or may not have just told him about the high ground strategy real quick. So we'll see what happens.
We will see. I mean, it just takes a little
Because he said in between rounds he's been asking people
spark
about the shot.
Yeah, it just takes a little spark.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, once that clicks in your mind, it's like Danny Baggish. Once he did the TOC with us and laid out his strategy right to us, it was like, oh, my gosh.
It's so simple and
What
perfect.
are you doing?
It will continue to surprise me that it's so simple in its brilliance. But guys, hit that like button, hit that share button. Jeff Smith, the silencer.
He's really attacking here. And Jeff, I did have a moment just with him. It's a tough weekend, but we're getting there. We're starting to feel our game out. I said, yeah, a lot of great players in the room. He said, yeah, but when you're not losing to those great players, it makes it kind of sting a little bit worse. I said, touche.
I would not know. I don't even have the ability to stand at the Yaki next to those players. Yeah, Jeff Smith's had a bit of a roller coaster. 3.47 in round one, followed by a 4.43 over Ethan Devira. So when he's needed to step it up, he has. Jim Woodmeyer, a 3.6 beats a 3.65 in that. And then here we are against Joey Lanaugh, 22 years old, silent but deadly. Former Evolution Tour champion for the CDC. He's the current ADO National 501 champion.
That he is.
At 22 years young. And Jeff Smith, of course, finalist of the U.S. Darts Masters last year. This year was the only North American to get to night 2 in that. And Joey misses the big number there on the third dart. Threw it a little quick. And when you're just trying to close a number and your opponent has 2 wedges and you miss the big, that's never good.
Well, how about this, though? We will say PJ Stewart helping out his good friend here, Joey.
Listen.
Always chalking.
What has been really cool since being in the dart community for a few years now is to see the maturity and the growth of some of the youth players to where they are now. PJ Stewart is not as solid at darts as he has been in the past, but it's off of a personal decision. He is trying to become a commercial airline pilot.
Yeah.
And along with that comes 5 different licenses that he needs for that.
He said he's too busy doing his training and his studying in order to do that. So, yeah, the game's set aside for right now for PJ. He's still playing. He's here this weekend playing in a few events, but maybe just using this as a little vacation time, I think. And why not do it with your good buddy Joey?
Right, and he's on track, honestly, to get his commercial license
well on track.
early.
Yeah.
Actually, because you have to be a certain age to get the last one. Joey's already in the process of getting that waiver to get that done early.
Wow.
Because you actually have to go to a flight college school to do that one. Joey closes out the 16s, points to the 16s more. Tries to go at the 18s on dart 3, which I like the move just because of the high ground, low ground. Jeff Smith, though, also taking advantage of his favorite number. There goes the 16s. Joey just shakes his head at the 8 mark there from Jeff Smith. The silencer silencing leg number 1 here for Joey.
Seems like it. Kind of grits his teeth a little bit there.
He's got his beautiful blue barrels. Yeah, and again, that was one of those grit your teeth of, hey, do I do this? Joey's going to take out the look at this 18s. No, he stayed on it the whole way through. Only gets 3 bowls. I'd say only. And that's because Smith has a winning darts. He's going to bail on it. He didn't bail.
Didn't.
And now winning darts for sure for Joey Linaw. Interesting.
What do you say,
strategy.
Joey? What do you say?
It's a 51 point, so he needs 3 bowls. Not going to do that. The other quarterfinal is off and running. Albert Anstey, Leonard Gates out there in the main hall. And Jeff Smith does take out leg number 1. 1-0 lead for the silencer. Who you got in this one, guys? Let us know in the chat. Tony Collins got the silencer. Jason Farnan saying, let's go, Joey. Team DJD. Stephen Phillips says, let's go, kid. I know for a fact that that's for Joey Linaw, but we're also to make the assumption it's not for Jeff, who has earned to not have to have that nickname.
Big triple there for Joey. And
Ooh.
look at this. Fill it up.
Boom goes the dynamite for Joey Linaw. And Jeff almost followed with one of his own.
Joey knows what he has to do here. Got to collect as much points as possible, and that is a
That's
tough one.
That's how you follow a 9 mark in the world of darts.
That's how I usually follow a 9 mark.
That's the after 9 F up.
And Joey just taking a second here, recouping. And you can see he grits his teeth as well, knowing, hey, that could have been a big one. Now I got to go find the 18s and find a wedge to score off of. I can't say I don't fault him for taking that shot. Even staying doesn't really give you a potential big enough lead. So go ahead and take that opportunity, but Jeff's going to give it right back.
And it's a high ground, low ground scenario where you're being more aggressive to try and eliminate your opponent's bigger number.
Mm-hmm.
You can see how fast Joey's throwing currently. And again, just the pace of play is so much better with a chalker. I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah,
you know?
it is a little bit better, and you're not hesitating, waiting on that person potential, so. Or potentially, I should say.
You know how difficult it's been for me not to say Juggernaut at any point in time in this stream? I just need to point that out.
I'm sure. Silent but deadly, isn't it?
Yeah. Something smelly like that.
If you haven't caught on, Sean loves to give the nicknames out.
Yep. It's one of my favorite things about commentary. And Joey Linaw, huge 7 mark.
Yeah, that was good, but Jeff,
This is
gotta attack here.
4-9 playing a 4-7. I don't care who you are. That's nice.
Real nice. And you see Joey abandons ship there, goes down to the 17s. Only grabs 2, though. But got a pretty good advantage on points. Will have the advantage when he returns. So go ahead and close him right out.
Bye-bye to the 16 pie. And now Jeff Smith, opportunity knocks on these 15s. Trouble would have given him a look. Not going to do it now. So, Joey, huge advantage to make this 1-1. But the one thing that we've seen in this event, Will, and you'll agree with me here, is how drastically the end of these legs have really shifted.
Yeah.
Just because of being able to utilize the bowl better and point those.
Yeah,
It's been insane.
I mean, the 16s and 15s can be a stomping ground for some people. I mean, me myself, I kind of have made my way back into cricket matches with those, but it's awfully difficult. And we've seen some really
Winning darts.
thrown off opportunities there.
And still winning darts, and that's dead center.
That is dead center indeed.
Yeah, it almost was so dead center.
It's detrimental, and it's almost on the bottom side a little bit, so kind of a little bit of a tough one to work around.
Joey's
He should.
and pins it.
He should.
Well, there's nothing else he can shot at. And Joey Linaw makes it a 1-1 scoreline. Let's go to a last league decider. PJ Stewart, your chalker, up there.
And yeah, no, as you've seen before, no diddle here for the last leg, which we'd love to kind of see that one, to be honest, but That's the format. All players know that ahead of time.
Reminder, this is the quarterfinal. We will have both semifinal matches coming up after this, and then the final of this cricket singles. At 6:30, though, is the big main attraction for this whole tournament weekend, and that is the DPFL Championship. Single elimination, seeded by DPFL, order of merit, 5-on-1, best of 7 until the semis, best of 9, and the finals, best of 11. So a bit of a longer format tonight, too. How about this, William Stewart? The entry fee was $50. First place, $6,000. Second place, $3,000. $1,000 to third.
Yeah, pretty hefty amount of money for this one, isn't it?
Huge with a capital Y is what we call that. Yeah, the total in prizes for just this tournament tonight is $14,600. That is a
It's a hefty.
that is
hefty.
a tournament that rewards their players very well.
And a reminder, because we haven't done this before, I mean, DPFLdarts.com, they got you covered with online play. If you fancy online play, it really, they put you in division-based programs, so you're competing.
Beginner.
Yeah, and you're competing with people equal skill levels, which is fantastic.
Yep.
So, yeah, big shout-out to DPFL Darts for doing what they have done here in the dart scene in North America as well as across the world, because there is international participants that do compete in that online league.
Yeah, it's honestly huge darts from, and even Jeff is like, wow. He's very upset at that.
He knows that's hurt.
Yeah,
that hurts.
That's huge.
He's got to go 16s here, and he's got to almost load it up.
Yeah, Joey misses the first dart, and Jeff relaxed a little bit just for Joey to go treble and regain complete control.
And attack right back if you're Joey, I think. But, yep.
Yeah, he went for the close. Got the treble 15, which I like, given that separation.
Yes, I like that too. Go ahead and go attack at the 15s and then move over, but make sure that you have the point advantage.
Is this a situation where if you're Jeff, you're maybe not as aggressive if you hit this treble and you stay on the 16s one more time through because the X?
Oh.
You'll never know.
Yeah.
He's the points. He's going to take out the 16 there. Gets it done. A little loopy on dart 3, but it worked.
Okay, but Jeff.
Winning darts.
Yeah, still darts here.
Case.
And that's the tough thing. And he's that's
a better one.
For the win.
No, he still needs to hit.
You need one.
Yeah.
Yep. My bad,
right.
everybody. I'm focused on
Usually that's me who does that, so
switching.
We'll take a win. And Joey, of course, going to stay there on points all day long. Now at 57 points. So Jeff needs 3 bowls to take a look at the 15s. Needs the double. Does not get it.
Still a good 3.
You're seeing situations where if it was soft tip, you would see those players take a little look at the treble 15 on dart 3 a little bit more often. I think just because it's a smaller segment and a little bit more, you're not as guaranteed to hit that treble shooting at it. But this more than doable. Not anymore again.
He drops it.
Yeah, and it was blocked.
It really was. That second dart really caused it to move out of the way. And here you go, Joey.
Joey gets it done. 2 doubles. And the 22-year-old from Queens, New York is moving on to the semifinals of this open cricket. And listen, Joey's won a lot of big things. He's been in a lot of big tournaments, a lot of big moments. In this field, to be where he is currently, is a big deal.
That's very impressive, to be honest. I mean, right now in your semifinals, you've got potentially Leonard Gates or Albert Anstie. You've got Joey Lanal, Alex Spellman, and who's our last one?
Jermaine
Wadamina, who beat Danny Baggish in the quarter. That's just such an impressive field, and we're going to get that today. We're going to get that tomorrow. We're going to get that Sunday. So, folks, don't go anywhere. We got you covered with a weekend full of action. We've only just begun
to live at this DPFL Live Event number 3. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with semifinal number 1 right after this. Welcome back, everyone, to the DPFL Live Event number 3, the first semifinal of singles cricket in Kissimmee, Florida at the Reunion Resort. I'm Sean Green, play-by-play commentator, joined by special guest commentator and PDC professional, Keegan Brown. Keegan, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Do you know what? This is the, it's 95 degrees outside. What else do we want, eh?
To be inside in the freezing cold air conditioning.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
All right, so questions for you as we're getting started here. We just watched you play a bit earlier, and you chalked your own match, right?
Yeah.
When was the last time you've done that in a tournament style like this?
Yesterday.
Okay, besides yesterday, what's hilarious is I was like, and if he says yesterday, I swear.
No, to be fair, I think the last time I chalked.
I was curious about that question.
But when
It's
I
been a
was
long time.
18, 19?
Really?
Yeah, long time.
How are you
Long
now?
time. 65.
That's what it feels like.
You can say that again.
Well, there you go. As you can see, we're going to get that player cam kind of upgraded and going. Did Joey just start off with a 9? Well, boom goes the dynamite, Joey Lenaw. I like the juggernaut for him, but I'm not allowed to say that as his nickname because his sponsor behind me hates it.
It's a good thing I'm not playing Joey. That's what I'm saying. Because he would have beat me.
There you go.
Again.
You lost to Albert Anstey.
I did.
And a bit of definitely an upset, I'm sure from your perspective, but from ours too. If you want to take us through that at all?
Yeah, it's different because when you play cricket over everybody knows how to play cricket.
Yep.
In the UK, you're lucky 1 in 40 knows how to, they know the rules. But yeah, it's a different game over. It's just more of a privilege to play darts over, and I got my ass handed to me.
So Albert's actually one of those players that will admit openly that he also does not really know how to play cricket.
Oh, cheers.
So sorry about giving you that information. However, he's been playing really well today. In this semifinal, Joey Lenaw, Alex Bellman. Joey Lenaw, former Evolution Tour champion in the Championship Darts Corporation, and of course has had a lot of success as a former Target Elite sponsored player. Now, Red Dragon is his new sponsor. So, teammate.
As me, yeah, we're
there
teammates.
You
go. I think the thing with cricket is when you're playing it, the hardest thing, the easier thing is to win it on your throw. If that makes sense.
Absolutely.
It's even harder. Like Alex here, he's not played bad at, but but it looks like Joey's going to go 1-0 uphill, and it doesn't matter with, Alex could hit.
He has winning darts.
He could have a lot of winning darts.
Well, a double would have given him the treble 16,
Yes.
treble 20. And it's been insane so far today how often we've had to point that out because it's happened to work out. The amount of players here, the talent of hitting that double for cricket, double bowl,
Definitely.
it's insane.
And to be fair, Alex has not done nothing wrong
No.
in this leg, and
Joey
he's
did everything
won
right
around. Yeah.
with his throw.
Yeah.
The high ground here in cricket is always important. So to get those 20s out of the way and have those as your scoring option, it really does dictate how.
Yeah. If you can, if you can break the darts and win the first leg, and then it's your leg to throw in the second, you're always laughing because you've always got the advantage.
Yep. How do you feel about the diddle at the start? Only it's a race to 2, and you do not diddle for the last leg.
No, if you're good enough, you'll win. If
There
you're
you go.
not, you won't lose.
Fair.
That's my opinion.
That's fair. Again, for those just joining us, Sean Green, joined by Keegan Brown, PDC professional. Keegan, you've been on tour for a very long time.
Yeah.
Give me your best win. Most memorable win that you've had.
I beat Phil Taylor 6-1.
Yeah, that'll be the most memorable win for sure.
He won 1-0 up and took out on, I think it was 11 darts. Unfortunately, that's a good
Round of 9 there from Alex
it's not
Bellman.
bad, is it? As we're talking about the greatest player of all time, Alex hits a 9. but I went 1-0 down to Phil, and Phil hit 11 dart, and I just thought, do you know what? He does it to Wadey, he did it to Whitlock. just get a leg on the board. I broke him 6-1, and my wife, she was texting her dad, said, "Oh, what was the score?" And she said 6-1. Well, at least he got a leg.
Absolutely. The assumption.
Exactly.
That's funny. Yeah. Alex Spellman, one of those players that has never had his PTC Tour card, but the talent is immense. He played in the Worlds this past year, averaged 98, had the highest losing average in the first round.
And the thing is, you can tell that with his throw there, he's just solid. And don't get me wrong, he's better lucky there, where he can capitalise on that dark bounce now. But he's going to be back.
Going up the 20s. Does get the single 20 on dart 3. You saw the eyes just kind of rotate up.
Yeah.
And then Joey just has that real rapid fire, quick throw.
Yeah.
Naturally talented dart player. Been playing since he was 13, 14 years old.
So he's now
15? What? He started when he was 17?
He's 17.
That's gross. He's 22 now.
I hate people like that.
Yeah. For sure. It's one of the main reasons why I'm back here all the time doing commentary instead of out there on the dartboard, because there's just natural talent that exists. And no matter how much I know the game, if your arm doesn't work the right way, nothing else matters.
Yeah. You might as well play pool.
Spellman, the double to win leg number 2 and send us to a last leg decider in the semifinal. The second semifinal that we'll see next is Leonard Gates, Jermaine Wadamina. My goodness.
It's not bad, is it?
I call Leonard Gates the greatest senior tour player of all time. He's the only one. Oh, that's called a Klebe dart. We're in my hometown, named after a player who just loves that treble 12 on dart 1 when you miss. If you're going to miss by 2, but not there.
Yeah. There's words in the dictionary that describes that throw, but yeah, that's not really when you think about it. It's with cricket, it's very hard where, with Alex, a steady turn will just he puts him straight into the advantage now, and it puts the pressure on Joey. But that's the experience what Alex has got.
Yeah, they're on dart 3. Actually, Joey hit the treble 19, which is great. I almost wish that he would have gone up to the 20 and gotten rid of that.
Yeah.
Because of the high ground here for Spellman, and he's just going to live there. See, his eyes are not even thinking to switch to those 19s on dart 3. Instead, he goes to the 18s on dart 3.
To be fair to Alex, he's halfway at the Himalayas. He's got the 10. He's got the North Face 10. He's going to pitch it, and he's going to live there. That's what he's going to do.
It's a great analogy. The 10 analogy is fantastic.
If you're in the US, it's about half the price it is in the UK.
Spellman still staying in that higher ground. See if he switches to the 18s again.
That's good.
Not that time. I just assume based on trying to get that open wedge with the X on the 20s. Joey's in fuego. Big 7 mark from Joey Linaw.
Yeah, you can't argue with that. Alex needs, he's probably looking, if it was me, I'd be looking at all 3 darts at the 18s. Just needs a treble just to sneak in. And he can't.
Only a 3 mark for Spellman.
It gives Jerry a good chance here.
Separates out a little bit on the first dart on the point.
Yeah, it's weird because, the British way of playing cricket, I would have gone all 3 darts at the 18s just to cut them off, because obviously it stops Alex from scoring anything more.
You're not wrong. The 3 18s there, you have 3 darts, 3 18s, nice and easy. And Alex Spellman, if you miss it, is going to
There's going to be a
hammer.
good chance he's going to hammer it. And so he is. If he takes 72 here, and he has,
yep.
So now it puts Jerry not back on the back foot, but...
Yeah, again, situation there where I agree with you on that one. He hits the treble 19 to get that point lead. You have 2 darts and 2 wedge, and you need 2. And if he's going to shoot the second dart of the 19s, just stay down there.
Yeah.
It's almost like having 2 different there's a little Robin Hood action.
Here we go. Robin hit twice. Oh, that's class. That's good darts.
To find it into the treble 18.
No, he's closed off. So if it was me personally, 19th.
Yeah,
you can't argue with that.
That's the perfect round. It's the most he could do there. 111-point lead for Joey Linaw.
And the thing is, as the game gets smaller and smaller, it's very hard to capitalise on a ton plus advantage.
How about this, Keegan, for a last
Oh.
league decider? 4-9 playing a 4-6 and
Oh.
no let up at all.
That's filth. That's absolutely filth.
Dirty from the 22-year-old current ADO National 501 champion, Joey Linaw. Alex not happy with those first 2 darts because it's
And to be
now
fair,
sitting blocking that treble. You
Yeah.
can't really see that from that angle.
and to be fair to Alex, he's done nothing wrong.
No, if you would have told him he was shooting a 4-6 in the last league decider against Joey, he'd take that every day.
Of course you would. I'm just glad that I'm sat here, and if I was playing one of them, I would have lost 2-0.
Look, we both know that you're not glad to be sitting here. You'd rather be out there playing.
I would, but needs being all the rest. That's a good treble 15 there. That second dart.
Stays there.
That's good arts.
Beautiful. Still behind. Joey just has one job to do. Close those 15s, Joey.
That's weird because he has to.
I don't like it, Keegan. I don't
No,
like it at
nor do
all.
I.
Yeah.
The thing with cricket, you want to kill the opponent off. It's like you've got the cobra. You want to kill them off as soon as possible. Job done. But every time, 7-15s, that's brilliant. But the thing is, it gives the opponent that little, ember of chance.
He's even staying on the points when he's blocked. Is he
No.
looking at the wrong score? I'm
He
actually
has to.
curious.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, there he goes. Throws the last dart at the 15.
So if I was Alex now, it'd be a good treble 15 and 2 darts at treble 19. Okay, commentator's curse.
That's okay. I never blame myself. You don't have to either.
Nor
The
do
player
I.
threw it.
So with Joey now, he just wants, 25. Oh,
It gets
I'm
the extra
surprised.
bullseye.
Yeah,
It's the extra bullseye
I'm
there.
very surprised about that because any dart player, you give the winning chance, you take it.
So the reason why I like that move on the 19s for Joey is because if he hits 2 single 19s on those 2 darts, he hit 1. That's 2 extra bullseyes that Alex would then have to hit to catch back up in points. So I always dictate this by 25s. And look at this. Joey Linaw
Fair
does
play.
take it out in
Brilliant
2.
darts.
Joey Linaw, silent but deadly. And he is a finalist of this singles cricket event. Keegan Brown, thank you so much for joining me here on the comms. It's a pleasure. I know you're hungry, so I'm not going to make you do the second semifinal.
To be fair, I don't mind it because it was that quick.
It
I
was-
could go again.
Hey, there you go. Well, we'll be right back with that second semifinal right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to DPFL Live Event number 3 here in Kissimmee, Florida. I'm Sean Green, joined by Keegan Brown for this second semifinal. Leonard Gates taking on PDC Pro Jermaine Wadamina. Keegan, we're in for quite a battle here in this cricket.
Oh, 100%. You know, it's like I said in the previous match, it's all about what you hit in the first leg. And it gives the opponent, so like Jermaine there, he'd be laughing, he'd be like, do you know what, 3 darts at 20, we'll take that.
Yep. And doesn't really take advantage of the miss from Soldier. And Soldier's going to close that 20.
He should.
Yep. Gets rid of it there.
Yep.
And
That's good darts.
it's like the 20s didn't matter at all.
Yeah.
And they're restarting. And this, of course, Jermaine Wadamina has been a PDC Pro for a very long time as well. PDC ranking titles to his name. Ranked 42nd in the world, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm sure he is excited to play cricket.
Of
Do you
course
know
he
if he
is.
plays cricket often?
Well, not often, because obviously we're used to playing 5-1 back in the UK.
100%.
But, you know, like this is a bit of a carnival cricket. You know, carnival darts,
There
as
you
they
go.
say. But yeah, it's good because it takes the pressure of us always playing 5-1. You need to take out with less than 15 darts, X, Y, and Z. And, you know, Jermaine is just enjoying himself. And it's always good to watch somebody enjoy themselves because that's when they're at the most. They're at forefront as such.
Well, we talked before the match started. Leonard Gates, when he starts dancing, that means he's enjoying himself.
He is.
And when he's enjoying himself, he is on a whole new level.
100%. And, you know, when, like, Jermaine starts playing like he can, you know, just watching what Jermaine does here, yeah, it's weird because there's so many different strategies to cricket where you think, what do I need to hit?
See, and I'm okay with that. He assumes that he's going to come back with the 18 still
Yeah.
at the point. It would have taken something special there from Soldier. And he also, the confidence in himself. That second dart was very aggressive.
That's good, yeah.
But I like it. Gets himself a 12-point advantage.
Yeah, with Jermaine, he doesn't, you know, shy away from any sort of confidence as such. And, yeah, he took full responsibility there.
And Soldier does the bare minimum, closes the 18s, does his job, gets that point lead back. And that's a tough second dart. Well, how did it get there, you know?
It's just good dart play.
That's all it takes. All right. Well,
All
Soldier,
it takes.
look
Just
at
wait, 'cause-
this.
Yeah, that's darts.
And again, has the higher ground, and the X on the 17s is
Yeah.
going to cause him to point more. Because he's assuming that that's going to be gone for him no matter what. And it is.
Yeah. See, you know, sometimes if you're 30 behind and with Slodger here, you know, Jermaine's put the pressure on. And it gives Jermaine a good throw at the 16s. And he has.
What I love about this game, Keegan, I know Mickey Mouse darts is what it's called, Carnival darts.
Yeah.
But what I love is I compare it, 501's kind of a little bit like checkers in the fact that it's very straightforward. It's math.
Yeah.
If you know your math and you're talented, the strategy is going to be good.
You're laughing.
Yeah. In
Yeah.
cricket, it's a little bit more like chess. You got to play about 2 steps ahead. You have to try and dictate what your opponent does, and it can make a difference in the overall results just based on that. And
And that's the
2
thing.
doubles would have done it. Oh,
Yeah, darts.
great
there, Jermaine.
darts. Beautiful.
You know, Jermaine there, he can put the 25 just to kill the game off. And it puts the pressure back on Leonard.
And Soldier not on in this leg. A 3.5 from him, he probably can count on 2-3 hands. 2-3 hands. The last time has many times he shot a 3.5 or less at this point in a big tournament.
But the thing with darts, you know, we always used to throwing out the treble 20, the treble 19, the treble 18. But with cricket, you're throwing out the 6 trebles that you're likely to hit following a double. And, you know, it's good practice. You know, I do this when I'm practicing a lot on the Pro Tour and, you know, it sounds daft, but when you miss a big number, it makes the opponent, you know, scream out for it as such.
Absolutely. And it's a game of a little bit of a roller coaster where
Of course it is.
a big round of 9 can completely flip the game, and then your opponent can just do the exact same thing right back. and it's fun when they're playing at that level. It's fun to sit here and talk about it, but it's also fun, I'm sure, for the player to play. Yeah, and for the viewers at home. Guys, hit that like button, hit that share button. Sean Green joined by Keegan Brown.
You know, it's one of them things in darts where everyone's like, oh, no, you know, you can't go to a last leg or a shootout because it puts the pressure on. But when you watch it and talking about it, it's the best darts ever.
Yeah, 100%.
That's what we all want. Not we want to play it.
And you mentioned earlier about having the 6 wedges that you're shooting at instead of typically 3 to 4 in 01, depending on how you utilize that 17. But in this game also, the 16s and 15s can really dictate the ending of the game.
Yeah, of course they do. It's the shots where, you know, I say if you got 81 left or 80 left, you know, if your opponent's not on the finish, we go 45, 36, or you go 48, 32. And it's the fact that at the moment, with cricket, it always plays a chance. You always have to keep it, you know, you have to keep it in. If your opponent hits 9, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
Because there's always a small chance.
Absolutely.
And you take your chance, and the chance gets bigger.
And in this game, the last scoring target's the biggest one. You get
Of course
25 points once you close it,
Yeah.
or 50. And so it's definitely the largest single score. So if a player's just hammering those and putting pressure, it can make it impossible for you to shoot that winning dart.
Yeah, definitely.
Soldier going right at the bulls. He's getting rid of it early.
Yeah.
This is we call this the coffin shot in cricket. Compliments to Ryan Mooneyham, but he was trying to hit the double and then the treble 16, treble 15, walk back with just one
it kills
single
the
ball
game
needed.
off.
Yeah. Basically puts it hammered in the coffin.
Yeah, of course it does. It's like you know the Undertaker at some sort of WrestleMania. That's sort of phenomenal as such.
I like that you try to Americanize it. That was
I do. I do. I've been there 3 times now, and I absolutely love America. So yeah, I tried to put any emphasis on the word.
There you go. Well, we are happy to have you here, and it's awesome to have you joining us here in the booth. And Leonard Gates does win that one.
Smashes it.
So it's a 1-1 scoreline. Let's go to a last leg decider. That was a 4-5 from Gates, so it goes 3-5, 4-5, and that's just how this beautiful game works, right?
Yeah, that's
a whole new leg.
Yeah, of course it is, and you know that's the thing with cricket. You know, with Leonard now, he just wants 3 big 20s, and he has. If I was, scored that 80 scored, and it puts Jermaine under so much pressure because it doesn't matter what Jermaine hits, he has to hit at least 9 to get in front of him.
Yep. Exactly, and even 9 really does not make a difference.
No. Not
because
at all.
he still has the higher ground.
And straight away, Leonard shows the experience of playing cricket, and straight away knocks it off. Jermaine needs a big he needs a good lot on the 18s here just to kill the number off.
He's already getting to a point where he really needs a 9 to get back into the leg.
Yeah, he does.
Especially if Leonard keeps cruising here. This could be over real quick.
And the thing is, he needs a 9 on the whole number.
Right. Right.
Just to get back scoring, because as soon as you knock the 20s off, you're playing chase, and once you're playing chasing cricket, unless you can hit 9s on 16s and 15s, then there's 2 hopes. There's Bob Hope and there's no hope. Sadly. Oh.
Yeah, and look at that. Gets the double. He also is a player in cricket will utilize that ball better than most.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously on the Pro Tour, me and Matt Campbell would practice, Jose D'Souza. And there's one thing, the difference between the European players at cricket and the North American players at cricket is they will use the ball and the 25 at the best opportunity.
Yeah.
Where we would just play the... Oh, wow.
And
That's
boom
good
goes
answer.
the dynamite. Jermaine Wadamina around to 9, and we just called it. Needs it on the 16s, 15s. He gets one right there. This is a game where you can't just call timeouts or take a knee or just hold the ball in the corner.
Yeah, to be fair, we watched Tampa Rays Monday, and obviously in Tampa, and after going 6-1 down after the second innings, they try to, they try to have a timeout every 10 seconds, and sadly, they couldn't get it on. But yeah, Leonard, he's just putting the pressure on and
gets it done.
75 on the border.
And a 4.9 in that last leg decider against a 4.5 from Jermaine Wadamina. Nothing wrong.
No, to be fair, and that's the difference. When you're not used to playing cricket, it catches up with you. But to be fair to Jermaine, he didn't do nothing wrong.
No, and Gage just performed there in that one, and look at him.
And look at this. He's trying to dance, but he's not in the mood for dancing just yet because he's got a final to go on in about 3 minutes' time.
Listen, that's a more dangerous Leonard Gates than a dancing Leonard Gates. The one that's talking out there, he's a pretty quiet person, pretty reserved overall when he's in a tournament. So for him to be given that, it says a lot. And there he's starting to dance. He's dancing back there now.
Yeah. Just out of the camera shot.
Yep. He's getting going. It's going to be the final of the singles cricket. Leonard Gates taking on Joey Lenaw, the 52-year-old taking on the 22-year-old. 30 years of difference in there. It's going to be great. So we're going to catch an interview with Joey Lenaw right before he plays in this final. Sean Green, Keegan Brown. Keegan, thank you so much for joining us. It was an absolute pleasure. You're welcome back here anytime.
Hopefully in the final.
There you go. Cheers, guys. We'll be right back with that final. Here's an interview with Joey Lenaw.
Here with Joey Lenaw at the DPFL Live Event in Kissimmee, Florida. How does it feel to be down here once again, Joey?
It's awesome. I love coming down here. It's a vacation. I also get a tournament out of it, stay an extra day, do some parks. I like being down here for a week, so it's nice.
Yeah, it's a good vacation spot. I mean, a couple golf courses if you fancy that, but even better, some great darts, some great competitors here this weekend too.
Oh yeah, you got some PDC players here. You got people that aren't PDC players, but they come overseas. It's good competition here.
Yeah, definitely. You got some incredible Dutch players here, including one of your new teammates, Jan van Veen. Good to see him in person, I'm sure.
Yeah, I played him in the development tour a year ago around now, and he wasn't nice to me. He beat me pretty nice on the board, but good guy. I like seeing him.
Well, let's talk about darts here recently. You've been, of course, doing the CDC tour and just kind of the circuit in general. Where do you think your game's at right now?
It's like a roller coaster, up and down, but I feel like I'm on the upswing right now, having some really good games, having some bad games, but overall, I feel like I'm up there playing with the best.
You're only, 22 years old, if I'm not mistaken?
22.
A long way to blossom in this game. Where do you think your game can go?
I think it go to the top. I feel like I have a nice natural throw, and just got to keep working at it, and a few years from now, I think I could be the best in the room.
Well, we've already seen the success in the Continental Cup side of things, the CDC level tournaments. I mean, you're right there with some of the best in the country.
Oh, yeah. Playing all these guys, I've beaten them all at least once, so it's nice to see, come onto the board again and play them, and I know I could beat them. So.
Well, moving forward to this Red Dragon sponsorship, newly formed sponsorship here, how does that feel to have a company like Red Dragon just bring you on and with all the big boys and girls they have?
It's awesome. They sponsor so many great players. They have world champions on the roster. And this is a big company. They do so much for darts, and being able to be part of that is awesome.
I know down the road you probably work with Lee maybe on a barrel or so. You excited for that process?
I'm excited for everything that they give me. The sky's the limit with them. They're awesome, so I'm excited for everything in the future.
Well, they've been definitely attacking this North American market. You've seen some of the soft tip professionals they've been bringing on, as well as Jules, you, Adam Savada. Just a good team behind you there.
Yeah, some good players, some CDC winners, some PDC players. It's nice to be in a company with them, and I'm looking to be there in a few years.
Definitely so. Well, Joey, thanks for taking a moment with us here at the DPFL Live Event. Good luck this weekend, and congrats on the sponsorship once again.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to DPFL Live Event number 3. This is the Singles Cricket Final here in Kissimmee, Florida at the Reunion Resort. I'm Sean Green, joined by my partner in comms for the semifinals and finals, Keegan Brown. Keegan, this is a doozy. We've seen the semifinals now. You got Joey, who is racing through these 7 marks, 5 marks, and hitting all these trebles, taking on the soldier, Leonard Gates.
Yeah, it's going to be one of the games where, like with Joey, he's such a quick thrower, and for me to, I love playing cricket, but it's very hard to understand what he's doing within 2 seconds of throwing it.
That's why you have me here next to you.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
This is the only moment where I'll be the expert here, and
Oh, okay.
just totally kidding. See, as soon as we work together, this third match, now I'm allowed to give you
Oh,
stuff.
it's all about the banter. That's a good dart off there for Joey. Shame he went to the 9. Yeah, that's right.
Well, it's a real shame you went to the 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, nobody wants that.
That does not help usually.
No, not even the chalker wants to mark that down.
Only 3 there from Soldier on the 18, so we're going to watch Joey, who we found out is going to be a pointer. 18s.
Oh, that's cracking.
Boom goes the dynamite. Joey Linaw from Queens, New York. The 22-year-old hits around a 9.
He's already looking at that meat sub-ball tonight, isn't he?
He is. I'm telling you, this is the best I've seen Joey Linaw play darts in a long time.
Can you get that in Florida?
I probably.
Yeah.
It won't be as good.
So, no.
Definitely not as
Obviously
good.
not.
And there's no such thing as good pizza outside of New York City.
100%.
Keegan, first experience here at DPFL, the live event. Thoughts?
Oh, it's brilliant. It's one of them, you don't know what you're expecting, if that makes sense. And, I've played in the 3 events, or the 4 events so far over the last couple of days, and it's good. It just makes darts a bit more relaxing, and, for me to come out here and, show my talent and get beat, then, America's doing something good, aren't they?
We're trying. I think that, I don't know, I'm going to ask you, how is, look at this from Joey.
That's filth.
Gross from Joey Linaw. Absolutely
That's like
deadly, but that wasn't silent.
That's like asking for, extra cheese on your pizza pie and they gave you double cheese instead.
There you go. Oh, that's great. That's like going to John's but ending up at John's on Bleecker Street.
Yeah. It's like going to John's and end up in Papa John's.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, 1-0 lead here for Joey Linaw. Throws a 4.7 in that first leg. That's not going to hurt when you're doing stuff like that.
Yeah, when you know you're playing well, you know you're playing well. The darts will just go, and when you're looking at,
And Joey's gotten better. He's just improved throughout this.
And that's the thing. It's sometimes when they say, oh, darts and experience and whatnot, sometimes the youth, when you've not got the scar tissue, it hampers, what you can produce as such. And, that's what we would say in the UK as such.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's good art.
Jeez. Joey Linaw. He went for the close on dart 1 and then immediately goes back and points beautifully. And this is going to be a battle. 1-0 scoreline favoring Joey Linaw.
It's weird because that last dart, I would have thought Leonard, he had a perfect marker in between the 2 darts to go for the treble 19 as such, just to, get his way in as such. But, it'd be interesting what he does here. Closer when he's off.
He got rid of the 20s.
Yeah, that's good art.
The high ground situation there. Now Joey is forced to hit a lower number. Every time you're at a wedge lower than your opponent, it's 3 points for every treble that you hit.
Says.
And that adds up quickly when it's the difference between 20s and 15s.
Yeah.
You really can be almost half a point behind your opponent, but if you have 20s at advantage versus 15s, you're going to win that most of the time.
Of course you are. Yeah, 1,000,000%. That's good art. It'd be interesting here. If it was me personally, I'll take the 2 17s off and then throw at the 18s.
That's exactly what Soldier does.
Just to keep going. Just to keep sure you've got your nose in front.
And this is a situation where Joey sometimes, he throws it so fast that it's easy to get to that commentator's kind of, he's throwing it too fast.
Yes.
But we've seen him also throw it that fast and hit 2 trebles right away.
And you can't fool him.
Yep.
Like with Leonard's, last throw that, I would have, as soon as he hit the treble 16 on that second dart, me personally, I would have gone back up the 18s, put the pressure back on.
And Soldier, of course, gets rid of the bulls first. Oh. Definitely one of the better bullseyes hitter in darts is Soldier Leonard Gates. That soft tip background helps that a lot.
Of course it does.
And Joey's just kind of practicing more than anything else. Well behind in the leg. Miles behind, honestly. And there you go.
Thing. And that's the thing with cricket. It's just all about keeping your arm in. So even though, like, Joey didn't play the best.
See, Jermaine was streaking back there.
Wow, it's not the first time Jermaine has streaked, I'm not going to lie. But no, that's the thing. It's all about, coming out to saying, right, I've got my, I'm trying to think what you North Americans would say, get your gonads out, that's what you're made of.
Yep.
And to be fair to Joey, he's played the best 9 darts after London's 3.
I would say this is, again, the best I've seen Joey play probably since January when he won the ADO National Championship for 501.
See, if it was me now, I would have gone to the 19s just to kill them off, because it still gives them a chance.
And I'm going to disagree with your strategy there, just because...
You would, wouldn't you?
Well, it's the American in me. I'm a good arguer. It's the fact that this game is about points, hands down. You cannot lose a leg of cricket with more points than your opponent.
No, 100%.
In order to do that, you have to open up a wedge. So for Joey, he's playing that kind of two steps forward. He's hoping Leonard, even if he closes that 18, he might get that last start at the 19 to try and steal it. But now, off and running is Leonard Gates.
Yeah. And for me personally, I find with cricket, as soon as you get in front of the opponent, it doesn't matter if you're 1 point, but in front of them or 100 points, kill the targets off. Because as soon as you kill the targets off, they can't get in front.
I agree with you completely, but they
they
only need 2 darts. They only need 2 darts to hit 2 trebles. Now they're back up 45 points. Or
to be fair, you can't agree
points.
because you disagree with what I just said.
I'm just
previous.
trying to be nice to you, Keegan. I'm just trying to be nice.
To be fair, I've came 4,500 miles away from home, so you're just trying to be nice to me.
I'm about 1,000 miles away from home currently. So
was it New York?
I'm Indiana.
Indiana.
And you were the first person in the history of people to confuse an Indiana accent from a New York accent.
Well, to me,
it's an American accent.
It's an American accent. That's all it is.
That's fair. Joey is going to lose this, barring a miracle that involves Leonard Gates not hitting what he's hitting, and that
does it. More or less.
Does not do it. He actually pointed more than he wanted to. He miscounted. He was looking for the 15s instead of the 16s on dart 3.
It's like playing with Jose de Souza. Jose's a terrible miscounter, but then it's, he's going to think through 3 15s to, close the gap here.
Well,
it's just toying with him.
Yeah,
just toying.
He would much rather it be over, but there's no harm whatsoever. And Joey would rather it be over right the second too.
Of course you would.
He's actually almost annoyed he had to throw the dart. That's why he threw the bowls with it closed.
Yeah, that's pretty more.
It's a bold move, Cotton. It did not pay off for him.
No, of course it didn't. But that's the experience, because when you just throw at the ball, because you think, I just want to go over and done with it, and then all of a sudden you go, shoot, I could have hit something there.
Yeah. And great news, it's a race to 3 in the final. So we get
it?
an extra leg.
Oh, perfect.
Or 2.
Then
we could have 3 more.
The poor people on YouTube have to hear me for another leg, at least.
Listen, I can tell you, running through this chat here, you are already a fan favorite.
Really?
Yeah, they have no idea what you're saying, but you're already a fan favorite.
It's that English accent, isn't it?
No, honestly, to be fair, most of our Americans, right, I would say this, we're used to your accent, the British accent, when it comes to commentary for darts.
Yeah, that's true.
That's all we hear, unless it's John Part.
Oh, John Part, yeah, wow.
And then it's a Canadian accent.
It's a Canadian accent.
Which, is not even real.
It's like South Park wants to part, described it, it's all them flapping heads, isn't it?
Sorry. You got to say sorry.
Sorry.
Yep.
Sorry.
But,
was that Anchorman 2?
Huh?
With Jim Carrey when he just kept saying sorry?
Sorry.
Yeah,
He's
sorry.
from Canada, too,
Yeah,
Jim Carrey. So there you go. But, yeah, and Joey is from Queens, New York, so he does have that Queens accent on him.
He does.
And he has that Queens attitude. He's not going to give up. He's fighting.
Until he gets that pizza.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. Whenever I go to New York, I know I'm eating well.
You do. It was, last year, me and my wife managed to go to New York, and, I'm not a big pizza guy, but all I know was for 4 days, all I ate was pizza because it was bloody good.
Yep. No one's a pizza guy until you go to New York.
Yeah.
Now, there's Chicago people right now that are very upset because
they rave at me.
There's Chicago deep dish pizza as a thing, so it's almost like more of a casserole type of a pizza.
Oh, that's cracking darts.
But that's a
filth.
huge 9 mark from Joey Linaw.
Once again, Joey's asked for the single cheese pepperoni pizza, but he's got the double.
Some would say the treble.
Well, you might say that. He could ask for the quadruple.
Joey, trying to get rid of the bulls, does so. So again, playing that kind of step ahead, dictating his opponent to shoot at the 16s and 15s instead, knowing that Soldier would just hit the bulls all day long if he could. And that's one way to kind of counteract the end of the game. You get rid of those bulls early, makes it a lot easier to get that point lead and battle through. But Joey needs to not slip now, and that's a 0. First time we've said that since we've had him on stream.
It's hard because, Joey's like over 200 in front, and on the 16s and the 15s, that's a lot of making up as such.
Right.
So
you have time to kind of
just to relax.
But you can't relax too much, right? Because
no,
it's about to go to
not.
last leg decider if you do pull off this, and you're going against Leonard Gates, who is not going to average a 2.7 again.
No. And if he does, then it's Christmas came early.
1,000%.
Sorry. Thanksgiving come early.
Oh, we have Christmas is good. Yeah.
Christmas is good.
Yeah, that's good.
I just thought, Thanksgiving becomes Christmas, and then
that's fair.
So forth. Yeah.
No, it is not a real thing to say Thanksgiving came early. It's Christmas came early. Even here. I know that we say a lot of stupid things. That would take the cake.
Yeah, definitely. So
All
here we go. It's 2-2 and
Houston, Texas taking on Queens, New York.
If there's anything like the Astros did Monday night against Tampa Rays, then Leonard will be favourite.
Leonard should be favorite. He's going first, and it's Leonard Gates. And while Joey Linaw is Joey Linaw, and he's usually in the top 16 in the CDC standings, but Leonard Gates, the 10-time tour winner for the Champions Darts Corporation, that's number 1 all-time on that list. And he got that weekend number 3 in Chicago 2 weeks ago.
Wasn't Booker T the 10-time WCW champion?
Pretty much,
Back in the day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, I like to throw out the stats because I like to give Larry Butler some credit when it's due. Larry Butler in finals for the CDC is 9-1, so 90% win rate in finals. If Leonard Gates wanted to get to a 90% win rate, he'd have to.
I don't know what Leonard's doing now. I thought he's dancing on the stage ready.
He was
doing
done.
Thing.
He just needed to leave. He also what happens is he hated that dart.
Yeah.
His dart lands very flat in the board, so it almost blocks the treble completely for him. And in a situation where your opponent's.
So if I was Joey, I'd be 19th.
Yep.
That's good art.
Beautiful dart. And that is exactly right. The single 18 does nothing for you.
No.
So you might as well capitalize on marks when you can. And only a 3 from Soldier opens up the gate, so to speak.
Literally.
For Joey to walk right through. And we've seen it earlier. Joey's going to point first and then kind of take a last dart stab. I know that both of us disagree with that turn.
But we're friends. So we're both set on the fence for this.
There you go.
But no, it's weird because, the way that I was taught how to play cricket or Mickey Bounce Back in the UK was...
Mickey Bounce Back?
Mickey Mouse Back.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
We're going to go that way. Mickey Mouse Back.
I love
it. But yeah, it's one of them things where you want to kill the opponent off as soon as you can because you don't want to, delay the torture.
Absolutely. Well, there's a gentleman way of playing it.
So
it's just not the American way to play it anymore.
Exactly. So straight away, Joey's just in front when he should have been cruising.
I agree.
But you don't agree.
I do. I do in that situation.
But you would have thought I was right.
you were right there. You were wrong earlier.
Hey,
There's a different situation.
Hey.
Situational.
Hey, we're cousins, after all.
Oh, yeah, brown and green.
Yeah, exactly.
We got 2 colors here.
Oh, primary colours or secondary colours? I can't remember now.
I'm a secondary color. And
yeah,
you're one of the worst colors.
I'm definitely that.
No one's favorite color is brown.
Nobody wants brown.
I get asked that all the time. Is your favorite color green because it's your last name? And I always say back, no, because if my last name was brown, that wouldn't be my favorite color.
That'd be the worst colour ever. Yeah, that's good arts there from Leonard.
Luckily, though, you got the best of the dart skill by far.
Well, some might say. Depends who you ask.
And I've been doing this a long time over here. You're also the better talker. So,
well, that's the thing with the UK. We could just mumble and jumble for the next 6 hours, and it would make no sense to anyone. But yeah, it's I think that's what we're brought up in school as such.
Well, look at how close this is.
Wow.
Nothing between them. 2-2 scoreline. 5-0 playing a 4-6.
Has to go. And then like,
Go
me
right back.
personally, 17th.
Yep.
That's
Go
good
right
arts.
back. Yep. Beautiful darts. Takes the 30-point lead. But this is where Leonard plays cricket the best.
Yes.
He's very good at these 16s and 15s and bowls.
And that's the thing with cricket. It's all about 16s and 15s. So me being Joey, I would have stayed on the 15s. Just keep scoring. Because, Len's
Now you're
really
just changing
behind.
your strategy for what you would do in certain situations.
Cheers. Appreciate that.
But you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, and there, again, you never lose a leg of cricket with more points than your opponent.
No, 100%.
And this is the part of cricket that Soldier excels at best. It's what makes him such a dangerous cricket player.
So with me now, I'll be cheeky and I'll go for double 16.
That's called a Maloney double, and that's not a real thing.
A Maloney double. Wow, it's going to soon be a real thing.
Joey's going to look at the treble.
No, Joe's going to look at the double, and when he hits the big single, we're both wrong.
Treble.
Oh, no, that's the big single.
You're right. That was definitely closer to the double. No, there's no such thing as doubles in cricket unless it's a winning double.
Yeah, 100%. Unless you're playing with another partner. That's
Fair.
about it.
Fair.
Yeah. So, to be fair to Joey, he's got a good chance here. So, I would go 1 dart at the 16s, 2 at the... Well, if I go treble 15... No, go to 15 still. Yeah, that would do. Puts the pressure back on Leonard.
And I would have made my decision based on the math there, and my math would have told me in that situation to go with the bull on dart 3 if I would have hit that 15 on dart 2. Because 24-point lead is nothing.
Yeah. It's a good thing you're the dart player, not
This
the
is for the
commentator.
That's to
It's
win.
good for the win.
Yeah, this is for it. For
This
the
is
win.
treble 15. Here we go. Will he start dancing after the third dart?
After the fist pump.
And he does!
Big dart from Leonard Gates. Wow. And Joey just head down, did nothing wrong. A 4.6 in the last leg decider, loses to Leonard Gates. And that was fantastic.
Well, to be fair, Joey's pitched a straight ball, a full-arm straight ball, and Leonard's knocked out of the park for 6. Oh,
Absolutely.
sorry, that's cricket. But he's knocked out of the park for a home run.
Oh, I love it. You just brought cricket to cricket.
Cricket and baseball, sorry.
Well, I was talking about darts cricket.
Ah, that's fair
But
enough.
Leonard Gates is your champion of this singles cricket event here at the DPFL event, Live Event 3. Joey Lenaw, what a run. The new Red Dragon sponsored player, your new teammate.
My new teammate, and he's put me to shame.
Well, you can't let that happen again.
I can say that. You can't say that.
No, I'm not a teammate of anyone, nor will I ever be. Keegan, I'm the worst dart player in this venue.
I'm glad you said that.
It's true. Guys, that'll do it for the singles cricket. We're going to be back, as long as my producer agrees with me just closing it out here, that we'll be back in so about 7 o'clock, maybe 7:30, for this championship event tonight, which is a big one. $6,000 to first place, $3,000 to second. There's nothing wrong with that here in Orlando, Florida.
You know, to be fair, it's 96 degrees outside when you're playing for $7,000.
Yeah.
No brainer.
Yeah, well done from Leonard Gates, gets the job done, and that's going to give him a little momentum going into tonight.
Of course it would. 100%. And,
Completely different game.
Yeah, it gives you the momentum when you think, oh, do you know what, I'm back against the wall, and, Joey he didn't do nothing wrong. Let's be honest. He might have slipped on the banana skin, but that banana skin was consistency and lack of experience, and that was it.
And Soldier starting the last leg decider.
Yeah.
That was it.
It's a no-brainer.
Yep.
Let's be honest.
We have a lot of votes that are asking you to stay. However,
Me personally?
you personally to stay.
For me to stay or for you to go?
Probably the other thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can understand that.
I mean, if you want to do this by yourself, you're more than welcome to.
It'd be a very long road home.
No, Keegan, it has been a pleasure having you next to me. You're fantastic. It's been great. And you've added some legitimacy to the accents of American darts. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's one thing I can talk about is darts, and trying to bring it across the pond, as such. It's good, and everybody's good as one another. On your day, if you're good enough, you win it.
So I do have one last question before we take it away.
Yeah.
All right. Our view is that darts is growing here in the U.S. and in North America, and that we're getting better, and we're heading over there and able to compete at a higher level than we have been in recent history.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that as a player over there? Do you now not want to see a North American drawn in the first round of the World Darts Championship? How do you view that?
It's a tough question because, I'll be honest. If you gave me a North American 6 years ago in the first round of a Pro Tour, I would have bet your arm off.
Yeah.
But, this is brilliant. It's
Great draw.
an easy win.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Obviously, not mention names, but this is brilliant. But the thing with darts, it's all about the experience. And once somebody keeps, so you have one person like John Part.
Yep.
For an example, John Part would, in my personal opinion, he was the only one that could ever beat Phil Taylor when he was on SOG. And he did. He obviously been in the World Championship, beat him at the match play, and so on and so forth. But it takes time, and that's the harsh thing with reality. It takes time, and in that room today, there's so many good dart players that I've never heard of, I've never played against, and yet they nearly took me to the cleaners. So it's one of the things where what we call, especially in the UK, the Luke Lichter effect.
Absolutely.
People are playing, people are motivated, and it would get people involved in America. And once you've got that, it might take 10, 15 years from now, but it will settle.
Yep.
And once you've got that settle, people will start playing. And it's no different to like the Netherlands 30 years ago with obviously Raymond.
Yep.
When he first won his world championship, all of a sudden everyone started playing darts.
He brought darts to a whole country.
Yeah, of course he did. And then all of a sudden, within 10 years, 15 years, you have, you ain't just got world class dart players in Holland. Played in Holland. You had people like Roland Shelton, who was, a UK Open winner. He was very fortunate not to progress any further.
Yep.
I think he beat Barney, in the 2006 Premier League. That's how good he was. But it's weird. If you give it time, it will mature and people will get better. And it's the experience. And the more competitions there is like this, all of a sudden, people start playing better and better because like that event there with Joey. It could have been the first time he's ever played on a mainstream of YouTube, and because he's played against Leonard, Leonard's played on the seniors. He's over in the UK. He's played on the terrestrial TV. He's played on the Modus. He knows what to do in front of the cameras.
Right.
And
Joey does on a local level, but you're absolutely right.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's all about experience, and if it takes 10 years, it takes 10 years. But there's more people. When I obviously got my tour card, there's more people coming through from North America, than there is now.
Which that's all we're trying to do.
And to be fair, you succeeded.
Hey,
that's all that matters.
Well, it wasn't me. It's the players for sure.
Obviously not you.
Definitely not me.
Yeah, if you were, then there'd be no hope. Right?
You're not wrong.
I'd be doing a competition if I was playing you.
Let's put it this way: if you drew me in the first round, you might as well just throw your darts left-handed because you're still going to beat me.
But my left hand or my left toe?
Left toe would be fine too.
Yeah, that would do. Yeah, that would do.
Just Martel blow the dart. You'd still win. Keegan, it was an absolute pleasure. Seriously. Thanks so much, mate.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Guys, we will be back in action in about 7 o'clock, 7:30, something like that. So stay tuned. We'll be back with that right when we get there. That was terrible. Exit. Bye, guys.